Can he grow a full beard?
Of course not.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
How can he grow?
How can it?
How can you grow?
How can it grow, you bloody bastard?
How can you?
I feel like that's beard shaming.
No, it's not because I think I've seen him with a full beard. That's what
He can't grow one.
I can't grow one. This is as much as I can get. This is a beard though. Don't go like it's not a beard.
No.
It is. It's something.
That's Jamaican bum fluff.
Oh wow.
I just haven't brushed it.
Huh?
By the hairs of my chinny chin.
It's only me that can grow a beard, innit?
I think this is a beard.
You can think what you want.
I just haven't brushed it.
I think this is a beard.
Bloody beard.
It's a comb over.
I believe that.
Yeah. Put this shit in.
Are you
man.
recording?
I'm recording.
I leave
this
it in
shit
then.
in,
But
man.
I believe that this is a full beard. We roll it into the podcast, man. I don't know why you can't just roll things in.
But a
No,
beard
because
is
I'm
hair
still doing the
underneath your
thing,
chin.
innit?
Do what?
I'm still trying to remember. I'm sure there's something I've forgotten to say that I should have said when I should have
No
said it.
eating.
Yeah.
No N word.
Yeah. Everybody's names. No talking
No
about
eating.
that thing. You probably we don't eat. Last week we let it go because of that.
Roll
one
into
thing.
the podcast just like this,
When
man.
are we not allowed to eat though?
Since when? Since when do we eat?
I thought we were allowed to eat.
No, well, there was an allowed. We didn't have the decision
And
that we
then-
could allow to
and
eat.
then we never said
And
that
then-
we weren't
But
going to
you
do it.
don't eat on the.
Okay.
No, because then the people that was listening said they didn't
But
like
it's
it.
on
It just sounds
Silent.
nonsense.
Yeah,
I
man.
agree though.
Roll it in, man.
See, the person that listens to the podcast.
I think it's a
agrees.
disrespect. You're telling me I ain't got no beard. You know, I've got something there, man.
Just let me start.
God has provided.
Let me start.
No man can take away what I've been given.
Yes, I will
No,
take it off.
but if you haven't been
I'm
given it,
okay
then no
at
one
the
can give it to
Well,
you.
but does it link from one side to the end?
Yeah,
Then it's a beard, isn't it?
I feel alright still.
there's a bit of a missing gap there.
Yeah, we're here.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when there's gap, yeah, you just brush it. Just
So
brush
he's
it.
doing the comb over.
It's there, man. But he cut it. That's why.
He's encouraging it.
Just brush it.
Come out.
It's always there for me
Yeah,
anyway.
clitoris, come out.
Hey, pussycat.
What are you saying?
Whoa. Okay,
You need to
okay.
stimulate. You need to stimulate the follicle. Yeah.
I've been disrespected.
What's new, pussycat?
All right, silence, please.
Silence.
Then I work never just roll in a podcast.
You get me?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents, small insects, and people with bald heads. Welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. This is episode 93, hashtag ESN pod, and at ESN podcast on all your social medias. I am Stavros Boss, and in the room with me tonight, I have Mr. Wolf.
Whoever can reason well will understand why he or she should be thankful. Always maintain an attitude of gratitude. What's going on, people? Nigerian proverb in the house.
Socials.
AKA Mr. Wolf, Insta, AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter. And I don't use my socials, man.
At all.
Oh, you checked it out. It's not good. But I will try and use them.
We also have Simple Simon.
We are gonna fuck up a party tonight, you just watch. Tonight, we are gonna spend the most cash. Gucci loafers and a bus watch. At Simple Simon on FB. Jesus Christ.
Is that the tunes that they jump off speakers for?
No, this is yeah. Bad boy tune.
That's all. That's the lyric I know.
Bun the bashment. See,
Hey, what?
And we have Big Wahala.
I'm on Garage today. You get me? Big Wahala at Big Wahala Insta, Big Wahala on Twitter. I'm on Garage today, man. I'm on that. Never gonna let you go, cause you're my flex. That's what I'm on. I'm not on bashment this day.
It's a London thing.
On bashment.
It's,
Anyway, bashment. Jamaican mans have let us down. To be honest.
Why is that?
Before you get, hold that thought.
Okay.
We also have a special guest in the room with us tonight. From the Just a Tip podcast, we have Georgette.
What would you do if your son was at home, crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry?
I've heard this.
You don't know the song, bro.
Who song
What
is
will you
it?
do if your son is at home? I ain't on the floor when the bed don't stand and the hungry.
It's only because of that Joe Budden thing that
You in the band, I'm something, my daddy home.
baby
father
I did not know the lyrics to that song.
Yeah.
I knew what would you do, and then blah 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 blah.
Well, you know,
I thought I would try and like fit in because everyone always has like a thing.
I don't usually have nothing, to
I
be
ain't
honest.
got
You
no
don't
thing.
have it.
I just usually say my name.
All right.
That's why they call me the Mike Tyson on the podcast, because I just
Say
come
my
in.
name. Say my name.
Yeah. Before you get to your thoughts, how are you, Georgette? Remember to
good,
talk into the
thank
mic because we
will
started off
remember.
and you've really flopped the game. Turn up the mic. Please.
Turn up.
Make it erect, please.
Turn up.
Touch the mic now.
No.
Oh, turn up the.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Turn
there
up.
you go. There you go.
I'm good, thank you. My socials as well.
Yeah, go for it. Go for
hit
it.
us.
My socials are at Coco_abroad or at Just a Tip Pod on everything.
We'll get to that abroad bit any second now because
Okay.
I didn't know why it was there, but now after we've had a little conversation,
No,
I
no.
understand the abroad. And why is it this microphone must be done?
Because like
He makes a fool.
it's fine.
Okay. So what were you want to say, Big Walla, before we get to?
I was
actual
dissing Jamaican men
important
because
things?
of one Jamaican man.
Go on.
Because I was reading Aloni's behaviors,
Yeah.
and she was saying that one Jamaican man did say that he was going out with a Nigerian woman, and when Afrobeats comes on, she goes to dance with her Nigerian crew or African crew, and he feels like he can't involve himself in it.
I don't think it was that. Didn't it say that she went to dance with another man?
She went to go dance with Nick's men
Yeah.
because
So
he.
when you say crew, that could be any.
No, but she said with the Africans, them. You know how the Jamaicans say that already. The Africans, them. So that's when he went to go and dance with, and he felt out of place, and I just can't understand why he didn't just jump from one speaker to the other and show them how he gets down.
Can't he
Because
dance?
maybe, yeah.
Huh?
There's loads of
Yeah,
things that are going on there.
What Yardies? All Yardies can dance.
Yeah, so I
The
don't.
Yardies can dance before they can read,
Oh my
Wow.
but
God.
most people can dance before they can read. You look took it as an offense. You sit there. You sit there.
Don't shout on the team.
You sit there.
Oh my God.
But you know it's true.
It's disrespect.
Let me read the thing. Hi, Oloni. So I'm Jamaican and my girl is Nigerian. We've been together for about 6 months now, and everything is perfect.
It's not
Clearly,
good. Yeah.
can you imagine?
It's obviously not.
It's Jamaican,
Almost
it's Jamaican,
perfect.
innit? Anyway, she's everything I've ever wanted and a really great girlfriend. The only problem is that whenever I go to clubs or parties with her and Afrobeats comes on, she always leaves me to go and dance with all the other Africans,
Them.
even the guys.
Pussy.
I try not to let this get to me because it's her culture and I respect that. But there's something in me that just gets uncomfortable whenever she does it. Am I being too possessive?
He's not Yardi.
He's-
Yardi wouldn't use the word uncomfortable ever. Ever. So we've already decided now. He might be of Jamaican heritage, but he is not a Yardi.
When I read that, I was almost crying. I was like, what kind of man is this? How you let your woman just go off to dance with next men and you're just there watching them from the sideline? Any cockhold?
Cock holding the dance, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit sensitive. Isn't
Yeah. He needs a yums banging. When the Afrobeats comes on it, the
He's being a bit Ralph Tresvant, man.
Yeah, but then like, is she being a bit rude as well?
Yes.
Because she's obviously there with her man, and then she goes
Yeah.
to go and dance with the next man.
I'm telling you this right now. No
Maybe-
Nigerian man would tell her to be going to go dance with no next
I
man.
think the point here is
It's not real, man. That is not
It
real.
can't be real.
there's some of that.
I can cuss Jamaicans all day, man, for jokes. But I don't trust no Jamaican to do that.
I don't trust no
As in
Jamaican.
to leave his woman to go and do that.
Jamaican, then nah, they're not doing that, man.
They're not allowing their woman to go
A
and do that.
Ghanaian man will do that, but not a Jamaican man.
Wow.
Come on now. Come on.
Akwaba.
Yeah.
You know how many Ghanaian friends we have, you know?
Akwaba.
Etty Sing.
I saw your daughter did that dance the other day, mate.
She's learning the whole dance, you know.
Listen, this daughter is a bashment queen now, as far as I'm concerned.
Whoa.
Yes,
No.
yes, she might as well have wigs.
Whoa.
Wow! Oh my god!
Whoa.
Greenwick.
Whoa. Where does that come from?
Because your missus was telling us the other day she was trying to stand on her head. So what? What is that?
Way. She's getting ready.
You have to beat her from early. Then stop that now. Get out of here.
Don't worry, one day she's gonna go to school because sometimes people, I beat you. That's what she's saying. She's gonna go to school and they'll be like, oh, so who beat? Mommy beat me. Daddy beat me. Social service and the police.
Immediately.
But I love it. Every time music comes on, she properly enjoys herself. I love that, man. She likes dancing. I think children should enjoy themselves when they're young and dancing and whatnot.
Yeah.
When you get older, you're not allowed to just be free like that. But she knows moves I can't even do.
You can be free when you get older, but everyone else just looks at you like you're strange.
It's true.
I agree.
And
I
yeah,
have that.
we have the guest on just to talk about that.
Yes.
So do people look at you like you're strange? And for what reasons?
Yeah, because I have short hair, first of all. So that's like always the one.
With a line in it, even.
She has bobbed her hair.
It's
Yep.
better than
She
yours.
has bobbed it. I know. I know. You know what? Yeah. I want to shout out to Georgette. I want to shout out to Georgette. I want to shout out to Kim from Not Every Day. I want to shout out to Miss T. All of them got better trims than me. Right, shut over that. Every time I see their trim, I'm jealous.
And they ain't really got a lineup as well. It's like,
they
you get me?
do though. They do.
But
But
not-
They got
Yeah.
a female
Yeah.
lineup.
they don't have to do what a man does.
Yeah.
So they
What?
can. Well, a man, his line can't go back
It's
like
gotta be
black
square.
women.
Yeah.
So where's a man if his head's receding? Like my hair's kind of like yours. If I could do my hair like yours, I could have that haircut.
Yeah.
But because my hair is not doing that, I can't do that. Well, it'd be patchy at the top, but still, I could do the front.
UK Apache, boy.
Yeah, something like that. So you have the hair cut down, you have the tattoos, you have the nose ring and the ears ring. Go on.
Yeah,
Continue.
basically that. So like my entire image. Sometimes people look at me weird because like I skate or because I'm learning to play the saxophone, or people are like,
Can I ask you
roller
can I ask-
skate or
Let the people finish, man.
Can I ask you a bad boy question?
Yeah.
Do you get mistaken for a lesbian?
yeah.
Okay.
Do you know that your T-shirt is kind of representing?
Can you get
of
mistaken
or do you do that on purpose?
if you are?
Huh?
Can you get mistaken?
What?
Can you get mistaken for a lesbian if you're a lesbian?
Well, because if you're not lesbian, then you're not a
He
lesbian.
was trying to throw a joke.
I don't know.
It failed.
But you know your
It
that's what
didn't
they call
bang.
people like you.
Like I am legit
a
a
unicorn.
unicorn.
So she got a unicorn T-shirt on. And that's what
Legit.
people that are out of the norm, they tend to call them unicorns.
And then also like because of how I speak, so I feel like I speak normally because this is how I've always talked. But then I have people that are like, I don't really know where to place you because like you look like a normal black girl, but you kind of sound a bit different. And I'm just like,
Sound different in what way?
it's because she's speaking proper English.
But not
enough
speaking
black,
proper
But
English.
enough black people speak.
Yeah,
proper
but this is the
Her
rest of
accent
it.
is not from London.
yeah.
But it's from
I
London.
can't
No, it's
even
not.
tell.
It's not from London.
Accent's not from London.
I would have thought it was London. I just would have thought it was Northwest,
It's very difficult for
but not the
anybody
grimy
to
side of Northwest,
identify
like
that
Finchley.
Wait, what?
Man called Finchley Grimy.
I said not the grimy side, like Finchley.
Oh, see, okay.
It's difficult for anyone to identify she's not from London. But
Why?
I don't know how you can.
Yeah, I
hear
would've
it,
said
bruv.
that.
You know what I mean?
I would've
But
thought she was
for
from
me,
London.
I don't know why people would suggest that you don't sound
Black.
like black or
Black,
I
basically.
don't
These
know.
are-
I hate that.
It's
I hate that.
Nick
term.
Nog's saying this, man. Don't worry about those people.
Yeah,
So
like
continue.
it's mainly from people that like haven't stepped outside of their postcode.
Exactly, this is that.
So
Oh wow, we're taking it to the postcode. now.
like,
That means
not
they
to be
haven't,
rude,
they haven't,
but
they
like-
haven't travelled on the bus from one side of the thing to the other. no ASO or nothing, boy.
And
Wait,
what's-
Trev, throw it over. I can't go over that side.
Madman.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
but yeah, like mainly I think because of my image, like people are like, you got piercings in your nose and everywhere else.
Not a fan of piercings.
And little did they know that you just dirty wine in your front room when you feel like it.
I actually can't dye one.
She tried.
Tried.
But I don't know. I see your image all the time.
Now, yeah, I think you're not so
It's like,
uncommon now.
But even
Take off the
we're
t-shirt.
going back years. Your image is not uncommon at all.
You can't
I've
tell
seen
someone
it.
take off their t-shirt like that.
The unicorn t-shirt.
Yeah, I know, but it's a Me Too era, bro.
Context. I have consent.
God damn it. All right. So,
Everywhere.
Coco_abroad.
Yes.
All right. So the abroad part, where does that come from?
Because so I have travelled like loads, but last year I went travelling for 6 months.
Hey.
And I went by myself as well. So that was even that. Like a lot of my friends were like, "Georgette, black people don't really travel like that." And I was like, "Yeah, but we should, innit? Because why the hell not?"
It's the world, isn't it?
Black people travel now, man. I think people do.
Yeah, but like I was backpacking.
Well, blacks ain't doing that.
See,
But what's your? Because there's black backpacking and there's white backpacking. So what did you bath?
yeah.
Then you didn't backpack. Like,
No. It was, okay.
Because them
So-
will tell you, I didn't bath for 4 days.
No, I definitely bathed, but like it wasn't always nice. Like, so for instance, when I was in India, I think I had a hot bath twice and I was there for 3 weeks.
But did you bucket bath?
Yeah.
Then you bathed, didn't it?
Yeah, but
It's not like you bathed, didn't it? It's not a big deal. Them not wouldn't bother. They'll be like, nah, I'm not
India
there.
is grimy, boy.
I've been to India.
It was alright. I don't think I'd go again.
What part of India did you go to?
Racialist.
So I started in Delhi and went my way down to Goa. So I did like
Okay.
Jaipur, Udaipur, Ahmedabad. What else? Just like loads of different places.
What part was your favourite part in India?
Jaipur.
Okay. I went to Goa. That's what I went.
Yeah, I went to Goa.
Goa was alright, man.
Yeah, continue. I want to know where else you've been and.
Oh, okay. So when I went traveling for 6 months, I did India, Thailand, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and America.
Ooh, good list.
Yeah.
So hang on.
So I've done 2 in that list.
How many countries have you been to altogether?
I don't know.
Her passport is stamped in it.
She said, I don't know. Like,
Listen.
why would you
Because
ask me
I
some
don't
stupid
know.
questions?
That's why people are saying you look down on them with your accent, you know. But I don't know. It's because your passport is ready
have
for you. You
an
can just be
app,
traveling anyhow.
But,
You have an app. You have to have a whole app to tell you where you've been.
I've got an app.
yeah, for real.
So, no,
So I can, like,
seriously, how many countries? There's 195 countries in the world. How many of them have you been to?
You've been to more than 20?
I want the
I
answer.
don't know if I've been. Maybe. I don't know.
If you open that phone and come out with,
can't
I went
find
to
the app.
53.
Can you tell me I went to Amsterdam?
I think it'll be
I'll
a
be
lot
looking
of
at you
cities.
sideways.
Okay, so like
It'll be a lot
them
of cities.
7. I've been to Holland. I've been to Germany. I've been to Nigeria.
10,
I've been to Egypt.
11,
I've been to Greece. I've been to Spain. I've been to France.
14.
Is it?
Yeah, go on.
Shit. I've been to Malta.
15. I can count. Keep going.
I've been to. I feel like this place is.
Azerbaijan.
Anywhere else in Europe? Let's
I've
just
been
stick
to
with-
Italy.
What number is that now?
16.
All right.
Have you been to Dubai?
Nah, man, Dubai's not for me, man.
How do you know if you haven't been there?
Because everyone's been, so I can see that it's not for me.
Anywhere in South America?
Not yet.
Ah,
All right. Okay.
So you would say 16 countries?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
wow.
Tough crowd.
I think you done well.
Thanks.
Travel
shaming,
shaming,
and I
travel
like-
shaming,
and I like your
travel
tattoo.
shaming.
She's
Thank
got a tattoo
you.
of the globe on
Travel shaming, travel
Oh, no,
shaming, travel shaming.
See, but I don't. I mean, I definitely don't travel shame, but I've been around people who do.
What is travel shaming? I don't even know.
So it's, well, you know, you did this travel shame the people that clearly have not gone past their postcode, but
It's
that
true.
Was, that was
It's
travel
true.
shaming.
It's
Like,
true.
oh, disgust me.
wasn't
Oh, Peckham people.
I didn't do that. Definitely didn't do that. I actually love Peckham.
All right.
I'm sure
Well,
you do.
we got a question sent in by it's MT Profit, I think.
As in empty.
No, M
Oh,
and then the letter T.
okay.
Underscore
Mighty Prophet.
Yeah, Mighty Prophet. Okay, but Schoolboy T. Anyway, he's a listener.
Yeah,
and
big up
he's-
Schoolboy team, man.
Yes, thank you very much. You're always supporting us on the Twitter sphere.
boy.
So he sent a couple of questions in, and one of them was about this travel shaming. So wonderful that you have that you're here. Look at this. All right, so somebody wrote a tweet and it got 11,000 likes and 4,000+ retweets and a bit of controversy. And this was about 10 days ago or so. So it says black people don't spend money on experiences. We spend the most on things like clothing, hair products, alcohol, and weed. But when I go to concerts, holidays, trips, festivals, I'm always surrounded by white folk. You have to say white with the white. Yeah.
Whip.
Why don't black people like to experience things?
Ooh.
Even when black people go on holidays, always fine dining and pool sitting at resorts. Y'all don't do shit. It's so dead, you know. What have you experienced? And yeah, blah,
A bit
blah,
of a
blah.
generalization.
Well, I think we got a bit of a
It's-
mix and blend in this room itself.
Well,
Be completely
there was
honest.
a transatlantic slave trade. We experienced a lot of shit there. Don't want to do it again.
And the Arab.
And the Arab slave trade, and we don't want to do it again.
Yeah, but that's
Not necessarily. But I hear what they're saying.
I kind of agree, but
It's social economics.
I think as I said in this room now, there's probably a mixture of the two different types of holiday people.
What are the two different types?
Well, I'm the resort guy. I want to go all inclusive.
Rubbish.
I want to eat foods all day long. I want to be drinking drinks all day long, non-alcoholic, by the way. I want to be going to the gyms. I want to sleeping in the finest of hotels, and then after I'll go road. But I'm not saying I'm backpacking anywhere. That's not happening, fam. I'm not spending all that money to go somewhere to backpack. Not happening.
To walk and.
No, I'll walk and
them
I'll do
things.
all of that during the day, and then I would have to come back to my 5-star hotel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when you're walking, you're continuously walking and traveling and moving.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. There is no
Shit.
backpack. There is a 5-star hotel waiting somewhere for me
That's what I'm saying.
after I've done my day trips. So I'll go out and, get on a buggy or whatever and go in the desert and do all of that, blah, blah. But when I return, it must be a 5-star something I'm returning to.
Okay, simple Simon, what you like?
Similar in the sense that I have to return to at least comfortable accommodation. I'm not really. I did a hostel one time, and I was like, you know what, this I can't live this life. I can't live this life. Like, I don't like people being that close to me. But when I go to the places, I do a lot of walking. And I try and just get lost in the city most of the time.
Yeah, go to the hood, man.
Yeah, and that is one thing that I've maintained, except for when we went to Brazil. I still haven't properly done the favelas.
We didn't go to the hood. We just smelt the hood and came back.
Yeah.
But he went to the hood. We kind of went to the hood when we was trying to find this man.
The central,
Yeah, we went there kind of, but we didn't go into the place where man have to knock on the door and ask them, can we come inside, please, sir?
Yeah, exactly.
Them type of hood there with the gunshot and all them things.
So
we were around the border.
But normally when I go away, I will end up in the hood.
Did I ever tell you about the time that when we went to Brazil, there was a string of girls, about 8, 9 or 10, that was following Simple Simon, touching his hair. like fairies.
I don't remember.
I went there. Remember, I've been to Brazil twice. Yeah.
First time, yeah.
When we was walking, they were just following his hair. So this guy.
Well, we can even get into separate stories of people following you whilst on holiday, because I've had that.
Yeah, everyone's had that.
Exactly. Following while black.
Yeah. Holiday while black.
Holiday while black.
You know what? One day I'm gonna read
It's a real thing.
I'm gonna read my black advisor that I used to put online every time I go on holiday. So every time I go on holiday, I put like a black advisor review on holiday of what's going on. They're good. I should keep it up.
Look at this man. No modesty. They're good, you know.
No, they were good. They were good.
I'm gonna keep them up everywhere I go. I'm gonna do a black advisor. But
Okay.
Thailand was the worst though.
Yeah. Mr. Wolf, what are you like?
Speaking of the black advisor thing, there was a guy. See now, hold on a minute.
You know that uncle that you've got. You know that uncle that you've got.
Hold on. No. This is where you, man, take the piss.
No, say what you're saying, bro.
No. Let me address it. Especially this clown here to my right, Stavros. Why is it when I'm talking and I want to express myself, you always put your head back? Oh my God, I asked him a question. Why is he going elsewhere? Why can't I talk, mate?
You know that you tried to hold the mic to your mouth.
Because I wanted everyone to get what I'm saying. Everybody deviates.
Uncle Phil.
People deviate and they go into other things.
Mr. Wolf took your shit.
Tell him,
bro. Tell him
That's what I'm saying.
The thing
your
is,
shit, my G.
A deviation is when you start off on topic and then go elsewhere.
He started off and ran off. He started off and didn't run off.
You didn't.
You just went to.
No, I was gonna touch on a little bit of his topic.
You know what
something that Wahala does all the time, bro.
You know
it's
what
no
you
big
are?
deal, you know.
You're the old man that when the thing goes green, you stay there until it goes red and then start walking.
Who said that you guys need to show more respect to Mr. Wolf? Furthermore, you need to go ballet.
It was Simone.
Oh,
It was Simone that said that. Big up Simone. But I'm just saying, that's how it seems like.
I don't know, man.
Shout out T Simmer.
You get me? Liberty takers.
Georgette, don't cover your mouth when you laugh, man. Let everyone know you're laughing. Yes.
I'm on your side. Say what you wanted to say, man.
Say what you're gonna say.
Talk your shit.
You can't even remember now, can you?
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, come on.
What was you talking about?
I was talking about the black advisor.
Black advisor. Nah, it's a good thing because black people can't go everywhere. They have to think about where they're going sometimes. There are white people that can go anywhere in the world, including our homeland, and be welcomed. We can't go everywhere.
I'm going to counter that. Black people can go anywhere they like.
They don't.
No. Listen.
I'm just saying.
No.
Wait.
Okay.
Black people can go anywhere they like. The experience that they're going to have there is a different thing.
Okay, well,
but
that's
don't
what
say
I
that
mean.
they're not everywhere.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you know like that.
I hear what you're saying. That's a little bit pedantic, but I hear what you're saying. We can choose to go wherever we want. But what I mean is that, like you say, the experience that we have in those kind of places in Eastern Europe or what have you, there's certain people that are not going to Eastern Europe because they know the kind of experience that they're going to get.
But I think that goes with it. You didn't go off topic at all, really, to be honest.
Well, if this clown would allow me to finish, then it would have been all good.
Yeah, but it kind of links to the original
but
question. We went off topic.
What type of traveller are you is the question.
Yeah, I know.
No, that wasn't the question that the person originally asked, though, is it?
Yeah, but that's what we were doing.
Yeah, but ban him. Nobody cares about what he wants.
In terms of the kind of traveller
That jumper is resting on your stomach.
I'm a little bit of both.
You're a little bit of both what?
I like to move around and, go into the hood and walk and what have you. And I also like the hotels like Wahala.
Yeah,
I'm right in the middle.
At the end of an evening, I think I like to I like to be able to sit down in relative comfort.
In education, he's like,
I'm not a backpacker.
You know what? You know what? I think I'm a bit different from most men as well. I like to go on holiday with women.
you like to?
Yeah,
Okay.
When's the last lads' holiday you went on?
with you, man.
And you got into beef, innit?
Oh.
Did I? I didn't get into beef.
You didn't get into beef.
No.
There was some gate, man. You had one of the gates.
No,
bro.
I didn't get into any. Oh yeah, there was a beef. There was one beef.
There was chair gate with, Stavros,
there was a
and
beef.
then
There was a beef.
you had some kind of gate, man.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you lot. I don't know why you letting outsiders come to tell me what I should be doing on my day.
What day was that?
When we first got there in it, and people were telling me about crossing the road to get a cab or something. Why am I getting a cab? Why am I?
Oh, you beefing with the cab person or
No,
something?
I was beefing with somebody, one of the crew that was telling me why am I going to go and get a cab when I was told to go and get a cab.
Okay.
Why are you being aggressive?
You're reliving, innit?
No, that vexed me that day, man.
Let's get back. Let's get back to the topic at hand. So, do we agree with the person's tweet that black people don't do experiences? It's not just holidays.
Answer the question.
Yeah, she told us what type of traveling she does. Or have you?
Well,
okay, tell us. Sorry.
Sorry.
Shut up.
Sorry.
I've done both. I can do both, but I think I prefer the backpacking just because I got to experience more and to meet more people than I would have if I was just like going to the hotel, going to the hotel. So when I've stayed in like hostels, couch surfed, which my mum was like, please don't do that.
What's that?
What's that?
Couch surfing. So basically, you stay with like a random family or just like a random person.
It's like to me, that's Russian roulette.
So basically, you're a bushwoman.
So
That is very
I
scary
did that
for a
when I
girl.
was in Fiji. There was this woman that I had messaged online, and I was like, "Oh, I'm coming to Fiji for the first time. It'd be great to stay with you and your family." And she was like, "All right, cool, come."
So you imposed yourself on them.
No, she was a host, so
Like an
thought
Airbnb,
you were
but
going to say
the
she
people
was a
stayed there.
hoe. I was going to say, what the fuck?
3 weeks in
she
a
was
row.
a host.
So
She was a host.
so basically, it's like Airbnb, but the person don't
but it's
leave.
free.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so it's free. So people just basically offer up whatever they have. So they might have like a mattress
Hear
on the
people's
floor.
ears ping up now. Free?
No, I can't understand that. Why is somebody allowing you to stay in their house for free?
For goodness.
No.
And for
Yeah.
Juju.
Some
Mm.
coat, some
No,
coat.
no, no,
They
no, no.
cut some of your
Yeah,
hair.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
I didn't have hair.
Some cultures.
So honestly, yeah, like with that, like it was a thing where she didn't have a lot of money. She had a big family, but like they wouldn't have the opportunity to travel. So for them, they allow people in their home so they can just meet different people, experience different cultures. And honestly,
Negro in our house. El Negro.
no,
Blackie has come to us.
it's different.
In your
No,
Blackie,
no, no,
how does
no.
it work?
Honestly,
Do you pay the same as us?
They rub your finger on your skin.
no, like
They took
they're
pictures.
from Fiji, so they were basically black anyway.
That's true.
They took pictures of you while you were sleeping.
Nah, but like they were some of the nicest people that I think I've ever met in my life. So it was literally the woman. She had like 5 kids, and then her parents lived there as well. And her parents remind me of my grandparents. Like it was really weird. So I instantly got there and just felt like I was cool. Yeah.
That's nice.
So like in the morning they'd make me breakfast. They'd include me in everything. Like I was part of their family anyway.
All sounds like witchcraft to me. Keep
That's what
going.
I'm saying.
But
Did you give them anything when you left?
so I gave her daughter some jewelry that I bought when I was in India because I was like, you know what, I don't need this jewelry. So I was like,
You
they
don't
can
give
have
them
that.
no money. It's no
Sister
tip.
Georgette.
No, like I didn't give anybody money, but I did like make sure that I bought food as well.
Good girl.
Yeah.
Did they?
Can't be eating off them.
Have you checked whether you got both your kidneys still?
That's what I'm saying, man. Listen.
Nah, like see, like this is the thing, yeah. I found that when I was backpacking, that's when I was able to understand that there are people that just do good things out of like just goodness.
You know, no, good, there are good people.
there
that
are
do
just
good
good people.
Just not in Britain.
Can you imagine?
But keep
Can you
going.
imagine if this was Nigeria and they backpacked and they wanted to do couch, whatever it is? They'll just be
Couch
house.
surfing.
They'll just be house girls. You are coming to sweep.
Oh, yeah, sweep.
You will cook. You will sweep. You will do everything you're supposed to do. Then when you leave money.
But that's
Yeah,
well, they won't
yeah.
leave the money. No.
You will
But then-
leave money.
In terms of the tweet, I get what the girl was trying to say, but she just said it in the worst way because it was basically like, you black people don't do anything. This is what me and my black friends do. Da, 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 da. So it came across like she was being a bit of like an elitist. So everybody else that either hasn't had a chance to experience that is then like, well, why would I want to do that if I'm now going to come across and sound like you? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think it's bullshit to be honest. Because especially now, you see a lot of away trips. So a lot of people are going to different carnivals in the world. A lot of people are going to different types of festivals in the world. I think black people go to a lot more things than people actually think they do.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, but when you talk about going abroad and you're talking about experiences, if you go from here to, let's say, Ghana, and you go to one of these parties that they have, the whole excursion trip party thing, and then you come back, have you really been to Ghana?
Yeah, you have. Why haven't you been to Ghana? What makes you think that you're going to do that for the whole duration that you're there?
You know,
I'm talking about some of these trips are like Southend weekenders where you just place.
I'm not talking about the weekenders though. I'm talking about when people go abroad to go for carnival. They still go to other places. When they're there.
Of course.
So
of course.
when they talked about festivals and concerts, didn't they?
Yeah.
In that tweet, that's what I'm mentioning. That there's people that go from one place. There's people I know that went to Coachella. You know what I mean? So black people are doing a lot more than I probably think our parents and maybe people our age and above was doing beforehand to go abroad to experience things.
she did mention when somebody said, "Oh well, I know people that have done this." I don't. She's like, "Yeah, you know," but in general, just because you know people that have done it doesn't mean that's the general.
Some man can't get out. Some man not have. You know, they can't even leave. Certain man that's big can't even go to America because of certain situations are concerned. So there's certain reasons why people can't go out of there.
A lot of people. It's a long tweet, a long thread. A lot of people brought up money. Like black people just broke. We can't do what they do. It's like white people can do what they want. They can afford it, and we can't.
Listen,
which I didn't like.
When we was young, we didn't go on holidays at all because we didn't really have the funds to send all four of us on holiday.
Yeah, but if you had the money, then you would have done different.
But then-
I don't know about
Some
that.
people don't even have passports.
My dad did not want to go.
Too. But then I think also like, so when I told my parents that I was going away, they like instantly gave me like all of their fears. So we're like, oh yeah, but what if this happens and da 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 da. And as much as I knew that they meant it from a place of love, it was a thing where if I had like taken that on, I probably wouldn't have gone. So
you rejected your parents? What kind of Nigerian girl are you?
one of a kind, baby.
Unicorn.
Yeah. So like, I feel like our parents have played a big part into how much we travel as
Parent
well.
blaming.
She's right.
Not blaming,
Parent shaming.
but like, how can I put it? So like,
I get what you're saying.
we've been told where we should travel and where it isn't good for us to travel to because of racism and blah blah blah. So I think things like that definitely play a part into where people decide to travel to, because you're going to want to go to a place where you feel comfortable or where there's going to be people that look like you and blah blah blah. So again, when I told them that I was going to India, they're like, nah, like allow it, like don't go to India, innit? And I was like, oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. And I was fine, but I didn't enjoy the...
But you have to remember,
India was risky.
You experienced racism there.
Yeah.
Though.
and there's a lot of rape culture in India as well. But the problem with Africans and Indians, in Nigerians especially, Nigerians just got this thing about Indians. We don't eat their food. We don't necessarily congregate. It's just a thing.
I don't know about that, man.
Tell me now. Do you know Nigerians? Go and ask a Nigerian to go and eat Indian food with you. You see the way they look at you
I
like
don't
you're
eat
mad.
Indian food, I'm not going to lie.
Because it's not something...
That was the first time I ever ate Indian food.
They don't do it.
I didn't have a choice.
I'm not saying there's an actual, like a big thing. It's just that we don't do Indian.
Okay, all right.
If you say that's how it is. But I think...
Yeah, they love the Indian films though.
Yeah, it's thing. But I think the thing
before
with...
Nollywood, we were on Bollywood.
I think the thing with
Bollywood, yeah.
Africans as well is a bit strange, yeah? Is they'll tell you, oh, don't go to these places, don't go to that places. You know, it's not good to travel in certain aspects. And then there'll be a time that one time you like sit down with your parent or your uncle and say, where have you been? Then they'll be reeling off all these mad countries that they've been to. Trying to find themselves somewhere else that's not the country that they're in or the country that they came from. I've been here, I've been there, I've been this, I did that. And I'm like, when did you go and do all of this stuff? Oh, when I was younger. So they went and travelled. But they travelled for different reasons. But they still went and travelled. Whereas then they're telling you not to travel.
Listen, my father-in-law was... you saw the picture of him when
he was a
younger.
pimp, man.
He was a musician in his younger days, yeah?
Yeah.
So properly one of those like I don't know what but he was a musician. He was an arty kind of person. When he got old, he got boring. Yeah. So my father-in-law is boring. He doesn't want to leave his house. He lives 5 minutes walk from us. I went and visited him this week. I'm like, what? Dad, why don't you come? I don't want to intrude. I'm like, you're my dad. Like, come on, you live 5 minutes down the road. Even if I didn't want you there, I'll just tell you to go home with it. It's only 5 minutes.
I'll tell you to go home, you know.
I'm cool with my father-in-law. Anyway, so but I've known him now as an old man, and that's how I talk to him. But then we got a guitar for our daughter, and I said, oh, I heard you used to play guitar. You're thinking, okay, because I've never heard him do that. Man, bro, I was like, wow, Dad. And this is what you do. And he's got art all over the plate, all over the thing. So I was like, where did you? He said, yeah, I used to be in a band. I've travelled here. I was, But the thing is, because me and my wife like travel, innit? And it's the one thing that we actually spend money on. We travel. So whenever we're going somewhere, it's always, just like you said, oh, why are you spending so much money going there? It's always it's the money. Why are you spending so much money going there? I'm like, Dad, it's experiences, man. We want to go, oh, it's too much money. It's too much money. It's too much money. But then when he's telling us where he's been, like,
how much money did you spend, bro?
He didn't. He's in the band.
Didn't he?
True. Yeah, but
He went to places to earn money.
Yeah, it's a
So
different
you're
thing,
going
man.
to-
but he travelled.
Exactly. He went somewhere and
He did his thing.
he experienced the world before he decided that he was going to settle where he settled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this is what he hit. And I think we do need to, as black people, we need to experience more than just what we are. But I don't want us to lose who we are
yeah.
in the same space.
And like, if I can go back to the topic of money. So when I said that I was going, then all my family was like, how much money do you have? And I was like, enough to travel. Like, don't worry in it. But I feel like for us, we've kind of been taught to like, to earn money, to save money so we can buy a house. You can da-da-da-da-da. Whereas I feel like a lot of white people that I met when I was traveling, their parents are like, here's this lump sum, like, go.
But they've got a house for them ready, though. You know
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
the difference.
it's
different, isn't it?
There's a difference.
That's
They
when
got,
it becomes
they got a house for
social
them ready.
knocks.
So they'll be like, oh, go on, Timmy. Go on, Africa. Go and do what you want to do. When you come back, we've got you. Whereas
If I'm
Timmy Topper don't have that same.
I don't know the situation your parents. So let me not even talk about your family. But if there's two different families, forget even the color. It's more now about the culture of money. So if you have the money, we have our house, the family home that you live in. We have 2 other properties that we rent out because we got 2 children, and when they get of age, we're gonna pass them on to that. Plus, we have savings for each of them. Yeah, we got ISAs just sitting there.
Yeah.
So when they say they're gonna travel, and they've done their education, let's say they've done, certain fundamental
degree.
things that they want, then it's like, okay, go do your thing, innit? When you come back, even if it takes you forever to do things, you've got the house here, we got money, we got you. Yeah? If I don't have that, I came over from another country to secure something for my children. And I've set up a bit of a foundation, but not what the other person that's been here for thousands of years has done. And my child is now going to not kind of like follow through on that. Then it's like, oh, so what have I put in all this work for?
Yeah.
For them to just run away and squander.
there's another dynamic as well. There's some youths that's giving their parents money for them to eat on a day-to-day basis. They are the main contributors in that house. So when you're going away spending that money to go and have frivolous holiday, I now need to go and work that double shift because I can't afford the rest of the money no more. So there's a lot of aspects as to why us at the bottom of society, as they call us, at the poverty level. That's what they say, we're the bottom in it when it comes to the money.
When you're eating cornflakes with water, that's the truth.
That's it, we're at the bottom. So we haven't got as much disposable income as others to potentially spend to go and travel and do what they want us to do.
Which then brings it back to you saying this sounds like an elitist comment because it just
Yeah.
means that this person has, to a degree, got their life in order. They're financially a little bit more stable than everybody else, and they're lauded.
I mean,
You say that, but
that's
they
what
could.
she had portrayed.
Yeah,
That's what
she
she
might be
had,
going home and has no furniture, bro.
yeah, but some people
She might
do-
not have a home.
Some people genuinely do that. They go home, they ain't got no furniture, but they're flying all over the place because they're prepared to say, well, I don't need those trappings. I prefer to spend them on the
But I don't know. I don't feel like that person even there has even been that many places. I bet you if you ask them how many places they've been to, they'll tell you like 4.
But remember, it wasn't just places. It was they didn't
Experiences.
say they said experiences.
Well, I can't talk about the experience because I'm an old rubbish person.
I've tilted towards the holiday thing because we have a backpacker in the room. But the point was, it was a lot of things. So like when we went to Brazil and paragliding or whatever it is, was it that I did, and it was just me and that actor. And so there was 10 of us
And
that
Rana
went. Yeah, but let me finish. There was 10 of us that went. Yeah, 9 blacks and 1 Asian. And because I am that type of person, like I could go backpacking, yeah, and I would do bungee jumping and all these things. These are the type of things I think she's talking about. And
Can we establish that
there-
you didn't actually do the same as the rest of them did? You didn't glide, did you?
I didn't choose. They just
You parachuted, didn't it?
Yeah, they paid for me, innit? What do you want me to do?
No, you had to parachute.
What?
He's too fat to go.
Oh, allow it, man.
Anyway,
No, it's the truth.
no. Okay.
I also would have had to have done that if they.
Yeah,
just wanted you to know that.
Okay.
yeah, above a certain weight, you have to. You can't do.
It was just funny
there's
watching
the
him do
kite
it that way.
and the parachute thing, innit?
Okay.
The paragliding and what's the other one? They're both paragliding, innit?
Yeah,
But anyway, either way,
one was like a parachute.
Either way, everybody had the option to do it, but only one other black person did it. The Asian person did it.
I would have done it, but I didn't
back-
want to spend the money.
just
Yeah, but
bang on it.
but listen.
That's part of it. Then.
I don't want to spend the money for something that could potentially kill me.
Yeah.
And then when I die, I'm going to be vexed that I paid
Like
myself
when I was in
No,
Ghana,
you just be dead.
when I was in Ghana, we
No,
went to
I'll be alive.
a
That
rainforest, and there's this thing where you have to walk up on this bridge, like X amount high up on this thing. The people from Ghana will probably know what it is. And so one of the things in the tweet was, even in black countries, you see white people there doing the experiences. And when I did this
want
thing,
to die.
and
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying.
Can I finish my
No.
thing? I was with a wedding party. There was about 10 of us again, and it was me plus 3 other of the party that did it. So it wasn't none of them. But when we went to the starting point, there was 4 white people there. So altogether there was about 10, and 4 of them were white. And I'm in Ghana.
In the words of Burna Boy,
So there you go.
I can't come and kill myself. Because that's what you're doing, as far as I can say.
To be honest with you, white people don't have a fear of death.
Yeah.
Really.
They don't fear nothing.
They don't. They don't. They really don't fit. Like if somebody decides that bungee jumping or jumping out of a plane without a parachute and doing all of this,
Without a parachute.
Yeah.
There's people that jump on planes like parachutes all the time.
If
And then
that-
somebody else catches them.
and then so if you're in a place in your life where you consider that to be an exciting thing to do, you don't fear death, innit?
I would skydive though.
Yeah, but
I always said I was skydiving.
skydiving and what I'm talking about
Yeah,
are two
yeah.
different things.
It's
yeah,
true.
you know what I'm saying to you? They just don't fear death, bro.
Do you- How many man are you? How many people in here has been to a festival?
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm,
Which festival? You went to that yard thing, innit?
I went to Reggae Sundance on about 3 or 4 occasions.
Where have you been to?
so it's a travel story, right? So basically, when I was in Thailand, I met this girl that lived in New Zealand, and I was going to New Zealand. So she said that I should come stay with her and her family, right? So then they took me to like some country festival, and I was the only black. Like,
Country and Western.
yeah.
Why?
Honestly, I don't know why they took me. Because when they gave me
Lord.
the ticket, it was like $300,
Okay.
and I was like, "You just met me."
They want you to be that token boy.
Yeah, no, they
Lord,
did.
could you
It was-
buy
it-
me
It was weird.
a
Mercedes
Mercedes
Benz?
Benz?
And I
My
honestly
friends all
felt very
got white
uncomfortable.
girls.
You felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you do feel uncomfortable when you're around a bunch of whites.
Did they? No,
Yeah,
what?
I do.
Did they make you feel uncomfortable by like staring and shit, or were you cognizant of that, or was it just?
Let me touch you.
I was just aware that I was the only black. So like, imagine like,
How many people? 1,000? 10,000?
yeah, like thousands of people. And
you were
me.
the dot. You were there. Full stop.
Literally, I was the.
You were like, ain't no Aborigines.
There was in she was in
want-
Thailand. No,
Aye.
you was in Thailand when they did the country
Aye,
festival.
Jowie.
Or
New
was it
Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay.
Joey, I wonder if she's gonna twerk.
And it's right for you to feel uncomfortable, you know, because they would have had those kind of thoughts.
Yeah, of course.
You
But
know,
but-
there would have been people that you
But like-
can't see that would have looked at you funny. And
I don't think
you
it's
know.
right to feel uncomfortable. That's just basically similar to what she said about when your parents are telling you don't go here, don't go there. It's the same thing. Don't feel uncomfortable.
nah, you can feel uncomfortable.
Well, to me,
I mean,
Their history
to
shows
me-
you should be
You
uncomfortable.
can feel uncomfortable. It's not good to say it's right to feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Their
Okay.
history shows you
Okay.
should feel uncomfortable.
All right. Let's
Did you dance?
move
it's not right
Did you
to
dance?
feel
Did you dance?
uncomfortable, but
No,
dance.
like I was just a bit like. Oh, this
on.
is
I've done
cool.
line
The
dance.
2-stepping.
and that,
Yeah, but it was weird, man.
That tweet is nonsense, in my opinion.
Okay.
The old man has
So we all kind of
Agree.
we have different.
Well,
I don't know
yes.
because I don't think it's completely a nonsense.
No.
I just
Yeah, but the part of the reason why I think it's crap is because she may have a small circle. It's
In
a
a my
massive.
circle.
It's a massive generalization. I know a lot of people that do experiences. Experiences don't have to be like one of them extreme things, jumping out of a plane and what have you. We do go-karting, archery, you know, all these kind of things. That's an experience, innit? You understand? And it doesn't have to be going abroad. We do different things other than just buying clothes, and that's basically what she's saying. And I think
Yeah.
it's,
She was
it's
saying
crap.
generally though. She wasn't saying like obviously she's saying her friendship circle is not like that maybe, but like as a culture, she's
I
not
don't-
wrong. As a culture,
we are the
have that.
biggest consumers. Yes, I think that's part of what she's talking about. But most of the people that I know,
Yeah, but that's you.
yes, and most of the people that people know, I would say that do that.
I don't think
I don't
there's
think so.
as many as you think. What's the next
Yeah.
question, Maju?
Oh man, you guys are getting on my nerves.
I'm just gonna
Why?
throw
that
in
was not me.
an experience that I did. I went axe throwing one time.
That's quite cool.
Now that's
That's what I'm
gangster.
saying.
That's what I'm talking
Gangster.
about. I'm about that kind of life. I
Why
like
are we getting on your nose?
Don't worry about it, man.
I like the
That's
archery
Because he was
stuff.
talking and you wanted to switch the subject.
Yeah, it's all right.
No, I thought we had finished. I actually thought we had finished.
No. It's
I
all
like
right,
the
it's all right,
archery
it's all right.
stuff. I like that.
I don't want to be the
something.
critic.
Now, is it?
Pardon?
Which one was it? Tomahawks.
Let's not talk of each other. No, you two can talk.
Was it Tomahawks? Like the handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm about that
That's
life.
cool.
Were you any good?
I want to know why he's upset.
Don't worry.
I just told you.
I'm not upset, bro.
I don't think it's that. Is it
Just continue, man. Don't focus on me, man. Just carry on, for God's sake.
All eyes on Mr. Wolf.
You know what we should do in Africa? We should do that. You know that they do archery over here? We should do spear chucking.
Swear to you. Yeah, white man will
with
be
a,
there, boy.
With a target down the other end, you throw the spear and try and lick the target.
Boom, 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 boom.
I went to the old Africans.
I would actually suggest that they do that already, but
You know what?
somewhere.
Yeah, and chucking them at Africans.
We have a ton of topics, but the first few is going to be centered around our guest, Georgette, from Just a Tip podcast. All right, so one of them was Simple Simon brought up, was a review of the Nappily Ever After film. So we're going to touch on that film. I hate your face.
What's wrong with my face? I'm waiting for you to
How can you say you hate someone's face?
Look at it. Look at it.
And you know
Look
what?
at
People think that me and him are twins anyway, so he hates himself.
Self-hate.
And then this topic on women with cutting off their hair, which we have somebody with a very long cut, so she can talk about it from her own experiences, which is wonderful. We didn't get to talk about it last week. So, did we all watch the film? Have you seen the film?
No.
Okay, you can just sit there.
I've seen it.
Cold blooded.
Have you seen the film?
Well,
Mr. Wolf?
she's done it natural with it, reality TV.
Okay, then we're not going to spoil the film. We're just going to discuss we're just going to talk about the film. Now, what did you think about the film first of all? And then, what do we think about the women and the hair business? Let's not delve into the film.
Just
Name
to
of
go
the film
first.
again? What's the name of the
Nappily Ever
Nappily
After.
Ever After. It's on Netflix for anybody that wants to watch it. It's a story
Is
about
it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a story about a black woman who is very conscious of her hair, straight, and it's just been straight her whole life. And then after some issues, she goes through a change and she just cuts it off. And it's a story of her transitioning from having straight hair and being somebody that wanted their hair to be straight to having no hair because it was no hair, and then the growth, the regrowth, the situations that it brought her with, like in life, with work, with relationships, family, how hair is such an important part in black women's lives.
Is anyone famous in it?
Sana Latham.
Sana Latham.
Oh, that's why she cut her hair.
Sana
That's
Latham.
why
She
she
was a
cut
bit
it.
naked in that film as well.
Oh.
A little bit.
I saw some titty.
That's a little bit naked.
Because I was wondering what
Yes.
she'd done to cut her hair, so I was obviously for
Yeah,
that.
apparently she wasn't actually. She was just gonna wear one of them bald wigs, but then she decided.
Her
to
dad's a
actually cut it
massive producer, you know, film producer.
off. Her dad.
And that's why she's getting all these roles, because she can't act. Anyway, keep going.
Wow.
Work.
Man backed out with an ad lib.
Simple.
Like it.
Is she mixed race?
I don't know.
Don't know. Don't know. Simple. Seeing as it was you brought it to the table.
Gaza. So this film now, yeah. I watched it with the missus, which is interesting on its own because I got to the end of the movie and I was like, this film's kind of whack. And then my missus was all up in her feelings, like, oh yeah, it really explored some of the problems that you have as a black woman about your hair and all the rest of it. And I was just sitting there looking at her like, did we watch the same film, kind of thing? All I saw was lots of normal subconscious biases. This idea around, I'm gonna spoil it. Shit, I can't say
Spoil
it.
the thing, man. Spoiler alert. Come go through.
Spoiler alert. So this idea around natural hair being more of a dark skin thing. So if you
Where
notice,
did you get that?
if you notice, all of the people in the program that had natural hair were darker, of the darkest complexion.
Other than her.
I don't know about
No,
that because my mum wasn't like, was she?
The mum wasn't light, but she didn't have natural hair. She was wearing wigs and whatever.
Let's
yeah.
not dwell on that. Let's just continue.
Yeah, so there was that I noticed like straight away. I was thinking, how comes all of the dark skinned people in here are the ones that are bridging towards natural and everybody else is the bridging towards straight hair?
A queen.
To be. But then I don't know, for me it wasn't a great depth of story. But my missus had a completely different experience.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe as a man I won't understand these things
I
because
think Mr. Wolf would have understood it a bit better.
oh
Why
my
is that?
god.
Because you did the transition, innit?
Transition between what?
Having hair and then no longer having.
You walked into that one, bro.
Nah, man.
I don't know. I'll leave you, man. Anyway,
Wahala.
it's 2 weeks in a row. You're trying it.
I'll cuss everyone gets it, as far as I'm concerned. I was gonna cuss Simple too. Either one was coming. I watched the thing, but after
Pause. When everybody goes and watches that film, the bit where she cuts her hair, I just want you to imagine that's Mr. Wolf cutting his hair.
Why?
Because
Because what?
that's what it was like when you had to cut your hair in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Go on. Sorry. Continue. When you watch the film, you'll understand. You'll laugh.
After I went to that Afro hair talk thing that my missus did, I obviously was a bit more in tune with my female,
My third eye
feminine
has
side.
opened, and now I understand the plight of the
black
woman.
queen, the black queen, and how her hair is more,
We call her woman because she has the womb.
Oh my days.
I was woke. I was once sleeping at home, and now I am woke, and my eye is forever woke. Coffee, but nonsense I'm chatting here. No, but after I saw that struggle that a lot of people were talking about with their hair, even I've heard it before.
Yeah.
Hearing it again from people that's not in my circle, and obviously these are just other black women, just doing their thing, and you're hearing them again. It kind of resonated with me. So then I watched the film again. I got the things in there that I heard them say, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I get now why they've made this film. The film was still not the best film, but I get the understanding of to why they brought it through. Do I think that it's gonna make people stand up and say, "Ooh, my gosh, that's your hair," blah blah blah? Probably not. From what I can see, a lot of black women have been slating it, which I don't understand why. Because from what I can see, it's kind of straightforward. She cut her hair for particular reasons, and people had a different of opinion with her because she had her hair cut bald, which I expect most people to have. And I suppose if I was to ask you if people looked at you differently when your hair was bald, you kind of already said at the beginning that people look at you differently already because your hair's bald. Then I would expect that this is the type of situation that she would go through, that people went through in the film. So I just saw it as natural what I would expect naturally to happen in this day and age for a woman going from having long straight hair to going bald. The only thing I didn't get is that at one point her partner was very supportive, and then suddenly he just turned on her.
It was a means to an end.
Yeah, I know, but it was just so rapid.
It wasn't, anyways. It was just one instance, but we can't delve into spoiler territory.
Okay.
So Georgette, what was your hair like before? You what was this, level 1? I don't. Is this level 1? Level 2?
No, I think it's like a 2.
So you got level 2 all up. Well, and you got a fade as well.
Yeah.
All right. So with a line, with a I don't know, what do you call it? A wavy line on the side of your head.
Yeah.
So that's for people that don't know what she looks like. That is the look that she has. And what did you have before? And how was it transitioning for you?
See, I didn't really transition. I just cut my hair, to be honest. So like, if I think back to when I was in uni, I swear, like really long weave, like really, 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 really long weave.
I don't think that would suit you as well.
Down to where?
So
Your waist.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, like
You look good.
honestly.
Simple space. What? You were a proper Niger girl.
Did you look good?
You know what? At the time, I thought I did. When I look at the one picture that I have, I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
You only have one picture of you with long hair?
Yeah.
I think you should keep only that one picture, because I can't understand how you're looking at you now. I don't see how you could look good with that hair like that.
Yeah,
That's
no.
most women with straight weave.
Down to your
Most of them.
waist.
Most of them.
Do you understand the psychology
wigs.
that you were under at the time?
Whoa.
Like, what was the reasoning for you to go for that length as well?
I just liked it, and I didn't really have my natural hair out. And it almost felt like that was a thing to do. Like,
Okay,
all right, like I'm at uni, and all the other girls around me have got like this long hair, so I was like, okay, so I have to have like this long hair as well.
Did you feel was it like peer pressure?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then when I graduated from uni, I was like, all right, I'm done with this. And then I cut my hair, maybe like shoulder length, and then it just like got shorter and shorter.
So your own hair underneath was good, healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember like one day going to the hairdressers, and she was like, all right, so what are we doing today? And I was like, oh, I'll just cut it, man. She was like, I was like, just cut it. And she was like, okay.
Cut it.
So there was no like You didn't have this experience where you felt
An
something
epiphany.
has happened and I must cut it. It was just take it off.
This hair has got too long. I got to cut it.
So I did go through an experience, but
Break up.
I don't feel like it was.
What, you go right into her face? What?
Well, am I right though? Am I right?
Did you break up with someone?
Yeah, like it was a breakup, but I don't feel like that was the catalyst for me cutting my hair because I was already cutting it anyway.
How long after the breakup did you cut your hair?
I can't remember.
Within a month?
It was about
Nah,
3
like a
or
few
4
months.
days.
Okay.
Yeah, like a
Alright.
few months.
Alright.
Um,
Alright, homegirl.
and then I cut it, and then yeah, I've just been like this maybe like
Did you have
2
trouble
years or
with
so?
your hair prior to that? Like difficult to handle is what we
No, I
hear
had
sometimes.
good hair. I mean, good hair. Yeah, no, not good hair, but like
First you come with the travel shaming, now the good hair. Ooh.
my hair. Okay, I can manage my hair,
Okay.
so like I knew what to do with it.
Have you wore a wig?
No.
You never wore a wig before. The reason I asked him because I was asking my missus, she said she'd never wore a wig before either. But I was walking one time from the station to the car park, and there was so one black girl, and she had really long hair and blah blah blah. So she walked in. Then she got into her car, got into my car, started my engine, looked up again. Suddenly she had plaits. So she had like the plaits. So she had backed off the wig.
Yeah.
I started laughing. I was thinking she got to her car, she
She was
backed off
done,
the wig.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, which one is more? That's what I wanted to ask you. Which one is more of a pleasurable experience? Backing off the wig or backing off the bra?
Oh, well,
Bruh.
the bra wins every time.
How can you win every time if you've never done the wig thing?
Because
You've never done it.
Yeah, but-
just taking it off.
Do you ever not have? You must
So,
not live with a
like-
woman.
I only wear a bra Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Sunday,
Cutting
Friday.
shapes.
Friday.
Cutting
Hang on, what
shapes.
That's it.
What days today?
It's
Okay.
definitely Sunday.
Because if you don't notice that women when they take off their bra, it's like a
I
moment.
don't understand what it feels like.
No, I know what
yeah?
it feels like.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like. It feels like when you've had to hold your pee for a long time and then you finally get to
Nah,
release.
I think it's even. I don't even think it's
No,
like
I think
that.
it's more
I think it's
than
more. I think
that.
it's more of the cotton bud. You know when you get the cotton bud and that makes you feel that extra in life. Because whenever I see a woman back off a bra, you can see that there's
It's the first thing. Literally, as I step in my door, I'm like, bing.
yeah. It's like before I even got like when
Freedom.
what happens is this is how it goes in my house. Yeah, I get in the car. I take my missus, I pick up from the station, I get home, I park on the end of my drive, yeah? Or the end of the thing that goes. Give her the key so she can walk in the house so I can go and park the car. By the time I've got in the house, she's already taken off. The bra's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's like it's gone. Just tell us.
To
hang
some
on,
people,
so
it's
who-
taken off
He said,
shoes.
give her the key, you're allowed in the house now.
No, she got her own key, but she puts it in the bottom of her bag, innit? So I give her my key.
So whose idea is the bra? Like who's why are women forced to wear it or are women
Saggy
forced-
titties forever!
I don't know why bras are... Maybe it gets in the way. I don't know.
Ask the lady.
See, this is where I'm saying that you lot are not taking opportunities because I would have cussed me about 8 times by now. But let's leave it as that. But yeah, so
Why do we?
I have had a breast problem.
You had?
My titties has gone down now. I'm about my not even an A cup. What's before A alpha or omega? Whatever it is.
It's the two of you.
Man's got his training bra on. Go on. So yeah, go on. Where does the pressure come from?
To wear a bra?
Yeah, like I've heard this about backing off the bra and all the rest of it, and I'm just sitting here now thinking to myself, yeah, but is it? How did it become a social norm for women to have to wear bras now? What's that about?
So I feel like it was a bit of a beauty thing where bras obviously like lift you up and your tits look perky and it's more sexually pleasing, and even the fact that like breasts are so sexualized anyway when what they're there for is to feed
Men.
your children.
Yeah, but I think it's one way and the other way at the same time. So it's also to make it look perky, but it's also to not make them show your nipples.
Yeah, so like I was gonna get there. So for me personally, I have very big nipples, right? So I know that I can't not wear a bra to work because everyone would be like, what the fuck?
Stand and deliver.
Yeah.
Your money or your life. Keep going.
So I feel like women feel a pressure to wear them because they look better in a bra. You don't want to come across as like not having a bra, your nipples being on show. Plus, like, the weather's changing as well, so it gets cold.
Yeah, it's true.
The thing is, though, you said that boobs are just there. My daughter calls it boobs. They're just there for feeding, but they are there for sexual.
No, they've been sexualized.
No. Let me finish. The thing is, when we were evolving, there are certain things about a man and a woman. So we're going to talk about this big dick energy that you mentioned earlier on. There are certain things that you use to attract the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What is big dick energy?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Energy.
We'll get there. We'll
Like
get
a bashment.
Yeah. So there are things that people had that what's the evolution dude? The Darwin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So things like having big breasts or having broad shoulders on a man or having certain features, having a symmetrical face. These are things that attract you to another person. For a woman to have big breasts and wide hips, that lets the man know, oh, you're childbearing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is whether it has been sexualized now, but it's always been
memories
on the subconscious level.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been a thing where a man will look at something like that, and whether he knows it or not, that is why they might find that attractive. So I've heard, So this has been taught, to certain places. So that is one of the things.
Where did we start from? Hair, innit?
We started
Gone
from
hair
Yeah,
to
we'll finish
bra
off.
and breasts.
Yeah,
and
because Georgette can't be the spokesperson for all women. Unfortunately,
No, I'm definitely not.
You are, but we won't. I'll just say that Colour Out the Box podcast, I heard they reviewed the film, and what I was gonna listen to their podcast, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, all we're doing in this podcast is talking about the film. So I paused it. I said, when I watch the film, I'll come back. I came back to it, and then kind of like what you said, Simple Simon, they had their own views. I saw one thing, and I did see more of it than maybe you saw, but maybe not so much as your missus, and not so much as them. They were picking on loads of different things. That's like, okay, I understand. Me as a man, maybe gone over my head. For them, it resonated with. They didn't say it was the best film or the worst film in the world, but there were just things that they picked out that was like that I just didn't pick out. So I do think it's a film that men and women definitely gonna see differently, and especially black women, obviously. And I do feel that you should watch the film and come onto social media, use the hashtag ESNpod, and tell us what you feel, and so we can have that discussion online.
And then watch Good Hair after, because I think that's a better film.
Good Hair is a good documentary, yes, by Dave Chappelle.
No, by Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Just any
I'm
black.
sorry.
Any black you can find.
Yes.
It's all right, it's no problem.
All right. Okay. So, Georgette,
Yeah.
the third topic that is definitely based around, well, not based around you, but you can definitely join in the conversation, is about penis shaming. Now, before you jump into it, I'm just going to give you a chance to say why it is something that you may be able to jump on by telling us a tad about your podcast. So you are from the Just a Tip podcast, and you tell us what that's about and why. Just tell us about the podcast.
Okay, so Just a Tip podcast is essentially a sex podcast, but not just like in terms of I don't really know how to explain my pod.
Neither do I.
Not like in a
Tell my wife I'm not listening to this.
raw kind of way, but more of like being able to explore things that you probably wouldn't talk about. So it's just a place for people to come on and to just talk about sex, but not just like, oh yeah, and then have my leg up here, but more like understanding things like consent, and then understanding how to feel sexually liberated, or what it took for somebody to feel like that.
All the topics under a certain umbrella.
Yeah.
All the sexual topics, all these sexual innuendos, everything grimy and everything that is, I don't know.
I'm just looking at
Like,
you.
I think there's a lot of knowledge in the pod.
There was
as well.
there was an interesting one that you did, where it was somebody that I don't think.
I only done like 4.
Yeah, but there was, and the person's gonna probably know which one I'm probably talking about.
Go on.
I think there wasn't as experienced in certain things. So when they were talking, it was more of a case of, how can I put it? Have you done this? No, not really. I haven't done that. Have you done this? No, I haven't really done this. What's the most exciting thing most exciting place you've done? And she must have said something that was not necessarily something that they themselves thought was that exciting.
I think I might know which one.
Yeah. So it was interesting to have that type of person on the show, that because when people hear your show, they're probably gonna assume that you're gonna have somebody that's gonna come on, they're gonna have a wheel of, I was having sex in the bathtub in the Vatican somewhere, or something mad, isn't it?
But
there was
that's not the madness, because there's madness.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's
like,
not madness, but there was a normal, what people would say as a normal everyday. This is me, you know. I like missionary on the bed on a 9 p.m.
I'm trying to remember which episode.
No, yeah.
it was.
So like you're talking about the episode with the girls from No Show
Yeah, but
Pod.
two of them. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was one person.
Are you sure?
No.
I don't think so.
Maybe there were two,
No,
but I remember
you,
it was
you
one.
started off with the gentleman. Is a dude with the first one, where you changed the voice.
Yeah.
Then you had the two ladies, I think. Then you had you had
A
the-
girl and a
girl.
guy, and then I had No Shade. So I feel like you might be talking about that one.
I think.
I don't know
the-
then.
Which one
I
is no
think it's-
shade? Last one.
No, that.
Who's no shade?
Don't worry. And
There was one with one. I think
not
it
important,
might,
it's
maybe
not
it was two girls, but I heard one girl.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you.
But yeah. So like, what I enjoy about that is it isn't just for people that have got like crazy stories. It is for like everyone to just feel comfortable to talk about sex because everyone's having sex. So like, I don't see why people.
Not everybody.
You with child.
Immaculate.
So I don't see why people can't just feel comfortable to talk about it.
Do you talk about those people who are not having sex? Do you have that conversation with them?
I haven't had that conversation yet with someone that isn't having sex.
I'll be interested.
It's interesting. You know what I find interesting, and this is where your unicorn bit comes in. Obviously, you're a Nigerian woman. Nigerian women are not known to go, even though Nigerian women are known to have sex, they're not known to go outside and talk about the sex, you know? We know Nigerian women are having sex, we know it. Because obviously the population is a lot, you know? We have a lot of children. But
1 in 5.
But it's not necessarily that we go out and talk about sex and talk about sexual experiences. And you talk quite heavily about your sexual experiences. And obviously other people are coming into the show to talk to you about those sexual experiences. And I always find it interesting to hear from a Nigerian perspective and a Nigerian woman's perspective about the stuff that they experience and how they can say stuff. And the fact is that you do this is interesting, because I was wondering whether or not you get a lot of backlash from the Nigerian Twitter community.
Listen, you just said, we all have sex. I don't know why we don't just talk about sex. Does your mum know that you talk about sex?
No, she doesn't.
Okay. So why don't we all just talk about it? But I ain't gonna tell the people at home. I ain't gonna tell them back home.
Well, I don't know if you need to tell the home though.
Well, what would she do when she finds out? Because she will eventually.
I mean, she can't do anything. She'd probably just be like, "Oh, George," but like, "Ah, mum."
So she won't disown you.
sex. Nah, man.
Georgette, what is that?
Nah,
He's
nah.
a
Get out of my
podcast.
house. Mum, I've already moved.
I don't live there anymore, mum. Nah.
Come back to this house and then get out of this house.
Okay, before we get into the dick shaming thing, what's like the most out there thing that you think people might get from, like, for somebody that's not so out there, what's something that you think when they hear this on my podcast, they'll be like, whoa, the eyes will pop out like they're in a cartoon?
Of something that I've done.
No, something that's been spoken on the podcast. Or something that you've done if you want to talk
Okay,
about
so
it,
one
but
of the
that's not my question.
one of the most out there things was when I had Girl on the Net on, so on my on the last episode, and I had asked her what her favourite kink is, and her favourite kink is consensual, non-consensual play.
That was nothing.
Kink.
Rape play, basically.
Yeah.
Do I know what a kink is? Am I that old?
You don't know what kink is?
I have no
It's
idea.
like a, what's it called? What do they call it? That's the thing that they know to call it. When it's not kink, they call it, what's it called, innit?
Sexual something.
No, man, it's not kink. They call it something else. It like has a proper name that they call it. It's not kink though. They call it something else. Fetish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more your age.
Cheers.
So that was but the reason that I think that was very out there is because like the whole topic of consent is so huge right now.
You need to explain what that is for some people because they might not understand what it is.
What?
You did, is it?
Consensual, non-consensual
No,
play.
that was just the title. Yeah, but
He said rape play basically, and she said yeah.
some people don't know what rape play is.
Okay, so rape play is when
Come on, man.
when people have already consented to pretending to have a rape fantasy. So pretending like, because they've consented beforehand, they've had a discussion that they want to do it.
I've done that.
Yeah, but you have to say you've done it.
No way.
No, but we spoke about it
Did
before.
you come with the balaclava?
No, but but we have spoke about it on an earlier podcast. I can't remember which one it was, but I called it resistant sex. You get me? Where
Sounds like a gym move.
Nah, but this is where
Che Guevara and his brethren.
this is. Oh my god, this is where you're, pleasuring the woman and she's almost trying to get away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but
and while she's trying to get away, you're dragging her back and she's trying to, maneuver herself away, but it's all in the mind of consensual enjoyment.
Yeah, but like which I agree with you, but I think for like consensual,
it's a next
non-consensual play, like it's a thing where
There's a lot of choking.
you've both consented that during this time of us having sex, we're going to act as if I haven't given you consent to take the sex from me. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's a thing where, it's a thing where you could have a safe word, but the safe word couldn't be no, because as part of the play, you'd be like, no, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have a different kind of word.
The best way that I can describe this is if somebody came in halfway through, they would bust up the man whoever was
because
dominant.
they'd be like, what the hell's
What's
going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
In January sometime.
Yeah, but if someone's trying to get away, when you're banging,
No, this is different.
It's different.
In January sometime, you had a discussion with your significant other, and you said, I have this fantasy where I want you to take me like I don't want it, and there's nothing I can say apart from orange or something. That was one of the actual safe words, isn't it? But anyways, and that's the only thing that I can say that will stop me. And then in March, I come home from a rave or from the pub 2 a.m. and put my hand over you once you're sleeping, and do stuff, and you're screaming, your eyes bulging, and blah 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 blah. Tie you up, hit you, do all manner of things. Stick a broomstick up your ass, and you don't say orange. And that is the thing, and the person enjoyed that. Spit on you.
Do you know what?
No, but that's different, because in January I gave consent to the non-consensual play. If you've just come home and you've just done that,
no, that is the consent, isn't it? It's an open consent.
For some people, they do have open consent.
I would do it open.
Some people do have open consent.
What's the point? Oh, do it tomorrow. Then what's the fun in that? It has to be.
There are some people that has an open consent.
That's what the safe word is for. Because when you come home and you put it's like orange, it's like, oh sorry love, and you just get into bed. That's it.
There are some people that have open consent. But are some people that say that we're gonna do this tomorrow and you're gonna just have like a rape fantasy. It depends. It's different. Mm-hmm. But the thing that entertained me about that episode is the person. This how I don't know how. Is it, about 3 of us listened to the episode here. I don't think Mr. Wolf did.
Probably. I've listened to one, but I don't.
But
think that's
this how she was like, I just like people just spit on me. If we heard the way that she was saying things, like it was just like sometimes I'll be eating my Sunday dinner and I just want to spit in my face, and I'll be like, raw.
Yeah.
You're just driving like, what?
Is that on your show?
Baden?
Yeah.
Raw.
Baden. But I don't care. Nothing
I didn't go raw.
Nothing. Nothing.
You didn't go raw.
Nothing in this world is going to make me feel away after Lady Andromeda came and said that she did the champagne and caviar.
No. That was when she said when she put the gloves on and she sticks her whole arm up the man's anus, up to, where did she say? Up to her hair.
Up to her elbow.
What did you say? Up to a man's anus.
Anus.
You get me?
I know how you pronounce
it.
Yeah.
But I was like, what?
Anus.
That was, because all the other stuff I've heard, it's cool. That one, I didn't know that could happen. Like the other stuff, the other stuff is like, it's you could do it or you can't do it. You want it or you don't want it. You like it, you don't like it. That one, I didn't even know you could do it. I didn't know it could go that far. And she had a healthy arm. That's the word I use. She had a healthy arm. Yeah, her arm was like yours. It wasn't like she wasn't a stick woman.
Yeah.
And because she's a dominatrix.
She's a mad down.
So people are paying you to. Anyways.
Well, for me, spitting is mad. That's a next level, man. You get me? That doesn't make you roll your eyes. It does for me.
No, and when people say they haven't been spit on, I'm like, shut up, man. What kind of sex have you had if you haven't been spit on?
Wow.
No, there's a difference between spitting on a dick, innit, and then there's spitting in the face, bro. It's like, come on. So you man have done that, then.
So moving.
Hold on.
Let's go to the dick shaming.
Moving swiftly on.
Say boat.
Selector.
Go on.
Yeah. So you know what? There was a time,
I'll take that as a yes, by the way.
There was a time that was going in the past, yeah.
Slag for life.
There was a time that was going in the past, yeah.
See, I'm a whore. When I could call other people whore. I'm a whore.
Careful now. Twitter's gonna come for you.
So there was a time when there was on, I think it was a timeline. There was a lot of dick shaming going on, yeah. There was a lot of dick shaming. If you're a small dick motherfucker, you can't do this, blah 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 blah. And if your dick is this small, then don't come and talk to me, blah blah. And I was thinking to myself, this is a shame, innit? It's a shame, like if you was to shame somebody for being, I don't know, whatever they said that we're not allowed to shame women for. What thing's coming up like you even got large bum?
You can't tell it. Yeah,
you can't.
Small bottom,
small breasts,
yeah.
small this, small that. It's your body parts, obviously, something that they can actually enhance if they wanted to.
A man can enhance it.
What's it gonna do?
You can have genital
Yeah,
enhancement.
Does the blood still flow proper?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, but I was thinking to myself, why is it
Hello,
okay
doctor?
why is it okay to dick shame? Why is that okay? So we said we was gonna have a rant about it, but then Mr. Wolf said, you know what, we should have a woman on the show so they can discuss the dick shaming and why they feel that it's acceptable that they can dick shame. So I don't know if you do it, but I'm deciding that you do.
And lo and behold, the woman that actually came
It's a dick shamer.
is a dick shamer.
Din, din.
Don't look into the sky. Don't look into the sky. Tell us your dick shaming story and then tell us why you women do it. It's
Okay,
disgraceful and you hurt our feelings.
I'm so sorry. So my dick shaming, I don't even want to call it that. I was catfished basically. And the reason that I say
By the
that
dick?
I was catfished because the guy had big dick energy, right?
Which means
So
Yeah, I heard that term for the first time last week, and you can
Okay.
explain it to us.
So like big dick energy is like from the conversations that we were having and just his whole aura, right? Like I was just like,
I'm gonna throw it down.
he's gonna throw it
I'm
down.
gonna take you out.
And then we got to
do
it,
this
and I was
thing.
just like, where's the rest of it? Where's
What, the rest of the energy or the rest of the
the
dick?
rest of the penis?
Okay, so what's small dick?
Oh no.
Small, like.
Yeah, but what are we classifying?
Well,
as-
what's your minimum? What's your minimum
100%.
requirement?
What's small dick? Small.
Small in it. Okay, so
Because we go by length and circumference, innit?
I don't want to
Girth.
penis shame.
Okay.
Like I definitely don't. And I think,
But I'm going to anyways.
and I think from when that happened to now, I think it's a case of I know what I like or I know what kind of dick I like, and that wasn't the kind of dick that I liked because I didn't feel much.
So when you look at the microphone, are you okay with it? When you look at your mic,
Yeah,
you okay with that?
it's great.
Okay,
Yeah.
half the size of the mic.
No, just say what the size is. Let us
Some
say.
people don't know the size.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Okay, but
It
you don't
just
know what you
wasn't-
believe is small dick.
That was small dick.
Yeah, but
And
what
what
size,
was that?
what size was that then?
That's why I'm asking half the size of the
Would
microphone.
you gonna just do like this?
Let her answer herself,
All right, sorry.
Like-
Go ahead.
Are you not an inches person?
I don't know.
Do you know what is inches?
That.
Look,
God damn, girl.
Is that including the head?
Yeah. Or maybe I've just had a lot of big dick. Like I don't know. Like
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I found that an okay moment as well. That's fine.
yeah, like
Okay.
So here's a question I got for you.
Okay,
Is
go
it
ahead.
possible as a woman to do the big dick face if you're receiving small dick?
Every woman can act, but go ahead.
Did she just wait? She's like, nah.
So hold on.
Ah.
When you were encountering, hold on. The story. How did the story go?
Okay, so
you liked the dude. You got on really
Yeah.
well with the dude.
Yeah.
It got to the point where
we had sex. And then I was like, nope.
So during the sex, would you have known that you were enjoying it?
So I was bad because I lied and I was like I moaned and shit.
See?
But in my
See?
mind I was just like,
No, but
this
no,
is
but
bad.
that was
It's a goddamn
I
shame.
would never do again.
no. But my question wasn't that. My question is, can you do the big dick face whilst receiving small dick?
No.
Is that the?
Yeah, that like,
No.
like you and whose army? Goddamn.
I got one question to ask you though.
Go ahead.
You know, man, seeing that face. Jesus Christ. Yes.
You know what? Yeah, Simple Simon is a humble man for a
My
couple of things. Yeah,
goodness.
he humbly dresses. He don't wear designers. He don't wear all that type
But
of
he
stuff.
won't talk. He won't
Ask
stop
him about
talking
his face and his dick. Man will be unhumble about both.
Humble.
Yeah, he's not humble about that at all.
What was your question?
Did you ghost him?
No, I didn't ghost him because we still talk now. Like we're actually very good friends.
And does he know his dick is small?
I mean, I didn't say.
So you haven't told him his dick is small.
Yes, she has because he listens to our podcast.
Does he know his dick is small?
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Did you tell him?
Listen,
So-
you can't say somebody's your good friend and he ain't
I
telling me he
told
got small
him
dick.
that
Is that a good
That-
thing to do as a friend?
Yeah, hold on, let her finish.
the chemistry wasn't there. Like
The dick wasn't
the
there.
sexual chemistry
But the
wasn't
dick
there.
wasn't there.
Let her
No,
finish.
no.
Let her finish.
So like for me,
Kavanaugh.
there has to be like a very good chemistry. Like I shouldn't even have to tell you what to do to me because the connection's there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes. Like you don't need the man.
Yeah.
Like, when there's good chemistry there, you don't need to say yes. You may
This
have
man is
sex with me.
popping M&M's.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know why he's saying that. You know what he's saying? It's against me because I'm a man of consent. Yeah, and he likes to put it on me, like to say there's a problem with asking for consent. There's no problem with asking
No,
for
I'm
consent.
not saying
It's
there's
just
a
that
problem,
Wa-
but
Wahala's like this.
sometimes you can engage in a sexual encounter without getting the yes and a signature below it.
Mistress,
Whoa.
would you like to have consent?
That's what Hala was like this. I don't mean to bother you, but the time is 8:45.
Can one?
At 8:45 on Sunday the 1st.
Scheduled sex.
And one would like to.
My panas is erect.
Yes,
my
and one
penis
would
is
like
up.
to partake in the butternut pie.
I would like to. I like to penetrate.
Yes.
Do I have consent?
Do I have consent?
Okay.
Good day to you then.
Okay.
Wait. Dilly.
She what? She said no, innit? And that's why he's saying good day, right?
Good day. No, it could have been yes. I
Okay,
would have
okay,
been that
okay.
quick. Good day to you.
Sorry. Let me just deviate a
And
little
he said,
bit.
sir. Not even
We,
Good day to you, man. Whatever.
we haven't asked a woman this question. It
Okay.
is about a previous podcast that we done. Yeah. You've been asleep. Have you had sex? Have you been woken up by sex?
Yes.
After that episode,
Uh-huh.
she's the lady that tweeted in saying she heard the first. So the intro was was your bit.
Okay.
She tweeted in she tweeted in a hand clap or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she co-signed that.
All right.
I have been woken up to sex, but then I've also woken someone up to sex as well.
Well, Hala thinks that's rape.
I didn't say it was rape.
You say
I remember
Everything
that
I
actually.
said- No, that's not what I actually said. It was rape.
I said, what do you call it?
I said
And you said rape.
I said it. Yeah, but that was the joke one, though, innit? That's the joke one. That's not the original one that we had the discussion for. We're talking about the original time we had that big discussion about the consent thing, yeah?
No,
You're not
no,
talking
no,
about
no,
the
no,
joke
no,
one
no.
that happened a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
we're talking about a couple of
That's
weeks
not what
ago.
he's talking about, though. He's talking about the one we had that massive conversation
Oh.
about. And I never called it rape then. I just said that you hadn't had consent. That's what I said. You had consent. And you're like, yeah, but I said you had consent. And you hadn't.
But wait, as a man, so you're telling me that if your woman woke you up by sucking your dick, you'd be like, oh, babe, like you didn't even ask me like if I want this.
No, it wouldn't be like that.
I didn't tell you that I didn't tell her I was unhappy with that behavior. I just told you I didn't give her consent.
No,
And I've got the right to tell her, what are you doing?
No, he wouldn't. What he would do would be like, excuse me, I don't seem to have signed consent from you. I'm feeling somewhat vulnerable right now.
Listen,
Cease and desist,
Listen,
please.
when I put the ring on my missus' finger, I gave her the consent to do that stuff to me. But it does not mean that the consent is the other way around. So if she decided that in the middle of the night that I was touching her and she didn't feel a way about it, that's fine because she hasn't given me consent.
How much of a friend was this person to you, Georgette?
What do you mean?
How close were they?
The
gentleman.
guy,
Yeah.
like really close.
Well, you were friends beforehand, innit?
Yeah.
So, I feel you should be honest, because I've had bum sex with a friend.
Bum sex.
Bum sex.
Rubbish sex.
Oh.
In the American sorry.
I know.
You know. No, you're right. I should not have used that. When we talk about sex, yeah.
Well, you know, I had bum sex with a friend.
During the sex,
Were you the receiver?
during the sex, I said it was rubbish, and then we just stopped, and that was that because we were friends, and it's like
Yeah, true.
and then we
But
never did it again, and we're cool.
I was a very different person. So
Yes.
so whereas like now when I've had shit sex now, so I'm thinking of one time in particular, it was very shit. I told the guys, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, that was crap.
And then what did he
Afterwards,
do?
yeah.
And then we've just had like a conversation about it
Did he go into the corner and cry?
now, but he definitely felt away because he was just like, oh, and I was like,
Did he get a chance to
redeem
redeem
himself.
himself?
No.
So why don't you have a discussion about it and talk about it and then try better things?
Hold on. Did
Or
that
is-
have anything to do with the size of his dick?
No, great size.
So then it was a case of that he wasn't pleasuring you the way that you want to be pleasured. So then I know that you say, I know a lot of women do not like to tell or feel like they should have to tell a man how they should be pleasured because sometimes that is the pleasure itself in the fact that man just knows how to do what you want them to do
Yeah.
and the chemistry that you
Yeah,
spoke
yeah.
about. But if it's not there and you're already there, dick's already out, vagina's already out, and you just say to him, look, this, you know, A equals square, square equals 2, 5 plus 1 or whatever, that's how I get there.
Your algebra's off, boy.
Yeah, very well. But you get there. Why can't you just tell him that's how you get there?
So the reason why we didn't was because we had sex previously and it was great. So I was just like,
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
know
he's
how
one for
this
one,
should
didn't
go.
He's 1 for 1.
that's what I'm saying. It's like
No, man.
Then you do best out of 3.
No.
Wow.
So
man.
are you
the
one of
bad-
these people once they've done no wrong and they can never do it again?
So the bad sex eliminates the good one.
Can you not let?
Sorry,
answer
sorry,
one
sorry,
question
sorry,
before you
sorry.
ask your second
I'm
question.
asking the same question though.
No, that doesn't. No, it's a different question.
Okay,
Let's
cool,
let
cool.
answer your one first.
Ask your question again.
If the person gives you rubbish sex,
Yeah.
is it that's the end of it for us?
I can't get turned on because in my mind I'm thinking this could go bad again.
Wow.
Okay, all right. So now you can answer his question.
So it eliminates the bad sex eliminates the good sex, basically. So you could have 20 good sexual experiences and one bad one, and that one
No, but this
bad
was
one eliminates the
really
20.
bad.
Yeah, I'm saying that really bad eliminates the 20 that was really good.
Could you?
Hold on, does that eliminate the 20 that's really
I
good?
don't know what's really bad.
Let her answer, and then you can ask that because I want to know too.
Maybe not, but we didn't have 20. We had 2.
Yeah, 2.
Well, you have to think about it though.
Hmm?
You have to think about it.
No,
Yeah, but-
because it was bad. But like I was trying to think. All right, say like I had 20 great sessions with this guy and then one bad one. I'd probably be like, oh, you know what? It happens. But we had sex twice.
Yeah, but you said probably, not even definitely. Like what?
I just don't like bad sex. Like,
Yeah, but it's gonna happen.
I don't
Are
like.
you trying to say you've
I
been
don't
with
want
people, you've been with somebody and you've never had bad sex with them?
yes.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tell
sorry.
me.
Goddamn
Sorry,
47.
Georgette.
Let's
You said-
let's let it go round as well because we can't just be peppering her with questions. Pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah, you
Yeah, but-
Pepper,
yeah,
you
but-
can ask questions too, innit?
This
Yeah,
is
it's true.
this is how it was for Lady Andromeda a little bit, but you know we get a little bit excited and we want to ask
Speak for
questions
yourself,
because
bro.
we don't.
I'll spit.
We don't get a lot of women. Yeah, I know you. And
Don't
do you
about
hold
you.
on, but do you get spat at?
Listen,
See now,
Just-
this is the
I'm a
thing,
married
innit?
man. I'm a married man.
All
Just,
right,
just
I
have a
won't
conversation.
Have you been spat at previously?
I'm a married man.
Yes.
Okay, all right. We'll take that as a yes. But anyway,
He's just like,
that's
I'm
what
married.
saying.
Everything
That's what I'm
goes.
saying.
God damn.
Even
I
prior.
can't come on your show anyways. Man.
Hold on, was it?
No, that's my line for everything. I'm a married man.
Was it phlegm?
What's wrong with you, man? Stop.
Always take it too far. Always take it too far.
That actor takes it too far.
No,
not,
you do,
not me.
man.
But anyway, you said that the sex was shit. It was crap and everything. I want to know what made the sex shit.
Yeah.
You know, in a previous podcast, I always go. It was in season 1 actually. We spoke about 7 minutes or a certain amount of strokes. You know, but what in
7
your
pokes.
eyes?
7 pokes.
You get me?
That was a Simple Simon maneuver, innit?
Yes.
7
What-
poke sex.
Like the worst sex that you had. You said it was 7 minutes. But what made your sexual encounter so poor?
With the guy with the small dick.
No.
No.
No, the guy with the big dick.
Yeah.
You said
we're
it was
big dick shaming.
crap.
Yeah. He had good. He dealt with you one.
That was
One
the one
well,
guy.
yeah.
And then same penis, same man. He gave you rubbish sex. What makes the sex
Made
rubbish?
you walk away.
Yeah. I want to know.
I'm
He,
walking away
The stress of
how can I put
CCJs.
it?
from the stress of CCJs. I'm walking away
So it was a thing where like,
from the dick and you just gave.
How can
I'm
I
walking
explain
away.
this? So when I'm like turned on, I'm like all the way turned on. So like I'm just like
Oh,
we're having
yeah.
sex now because I'm there in it. So we were getting into it, and he couldn't keep going, and was just like, I feel like I'm gonna come. Where are you going?
Well, how let's leave him. In fact, he's going.
the man couldn't do more than one. That's why you're calling this man grief.
Huh?
Asia said it because he couldn't do more than once. He wanted to bust quick. That's
Come to the microphone,
Yeah,
my friend.
because okay, look, no, wait, no.
But Wahala has
like, it's a
dropped
thing where-
his headphones and walked away, and he's screaming. Are you trying to say just because the man couldn't last, like he couldn't last, that is the rubbish thing?
Disrespect.
No, it's not.
No,
So, hold
on.
Don't tell me don't tell me just bust quick.
Let her finish.
That's it.
Was it because he busted?
So like it's a thing where like I had to coax him through, and I'm like, why am I having to teach you how to fuck me? Because you've done it before and it was fine. I didn't like it because I was just like, what's going on here, right? And I didn't like the excuse. So it was like, oh, but it's just really good. And I was like, it's the same pussy as before. Like it's the same. So to
I
do
see.
this whole,
Okay.
but it's really good and da 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 da. For me, like I'm not.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Sometimes
You're saying that like as a man, but I'm saying like as a woman.
Yeah,
So
but I'm saying, you're saying the vagina is the same vagina because it's your vagina. Yes, it is your vagina, but every time you enter that vagina, it can feel
It
different.
feels differently. Yeah.
Tuesday pussy is different. Very different
From Friday.
yes.
There's no doubt.
I hear that,
and,
but
and he may have been intoxicated. There could be a few factors, and sometimes when you are with a woman, you know, you may notice the size of one nipple. You may look at one bottom cheek, and then it turns you on, and all of a sudden you're getting overexcited. But I'm not trying to make excuses for him.
That's what you're doing.
But well,
I'm holding out the brother, man.
okay, but there is always gonna be a time other than your brethren, and maybe there are some people around the world, probably Simple Simon included, I personally can't have great sex all the time, innit? That's just me. I can have great sex, but not 100% of the time. And if you can find that man and keep that man, by all means. We also spoke about another topic on a previous podcast about sometimes men purposely come quickly because they just want to.
That's true, but I think even in your situation,
Wait, hold on.
Even-
Georgette looks confused. Like what?
even in your situation and what you're saying there now, we can get back to that.
They
in a
don't
minute.
care about the woman,
They
basically.
don't care.
Even in your situation, the first time that you had sex, it might have been more of a natural, oh my god, sex, yeah? I don't know. But when you're saying the second time, you was like, I'm on this thing, let me just get this dick, blah, blah.
Oh,
that
yeah,
might
give me this.
that might have turned him on so much that he was like, you know what, boy. And then when he was in there, he was like, you know what, it turned me on that much that I just bust. And you should take that as a compliment, god damn it.
No, I shouldn't take that. No, I shouldn't take that as a compliment because.
Yes.
All right.
If a man has dealt with you properly once, and then the second time he's
tapping out.
yeah, then you do
Conor
take it as a
McGregor the
compliment.
ting,
If
bruv.
the man always is a fast finisher, then yeah, it's nothing to do with you. Well, it could be something to do with you, but you don't necessarily know that. But if he's lasted the distance once, and then the second time he didn't, then yeah, you have to take that as something I've done, or the weed
Okay.
Conor McGregor the ting, boy.
has made the man do the thing. Yeah.
Okay,
out.
fair, but like when we actually had a conversation about it, the things that I didn't like was he then said, "Oh yeah, but you know, like I gave you head and you came bare," and I was just like, "Bro, I come easy in it."
Hold on. So you actually came in this situation.
I know how.
You know what?
I know how my body works.
I need a handbag so I can stand up
it
like
has
Viola Davis in that
Viola
gift.
Davis.
Where she just picks up the bag at least. Because I can't believe you came more than once.
It has nothing to do with how many times I come. For me,
Let
right?
her finish.
It was a thing
I wanna
where
hear this.
there's a difference. I can't.
Go on.
There is a difference between me feeling like the person that I'm having sex with is having sex to please me and having sex so they can come.
You need to finish last week's podcast as well, because we do touch on men trying their best to try and please the woman. But we did say, and I have said, sometimes it feels so good that a man at times you just can't hold it. And on the other side of the coin, maybe he just wanted to bust quick.
No, but if he wanted to bust quickly, he wouldn't even have bothered to go down on her.
No,
He would have spat 2 times and then go.
no.
went in there.
Maybe he felt, let me make her come, and which he did, and he thought,
so
you
that
know
means
what?
that he was taking into consideration her feelings.
Oh, yes.
So
No,
it
and
can't be a
then-
case
and
that he just wanted
no.
to bust and go.
Why not?
Because
could-
you're taking into consideration into her
Right.
feelings.
So
hold
wait,
on.
hold on, wait.
Hold on. He took her consideration by making her come,
That's
and
not
then no. But I'm just saying
Go on,
that
sorry.
this is what it could have been, innit? He's saying that because he bust quick, that it means that you are not taking her feelings into consideration. I'm saying you can, because you've gone down on the lady, you've made her come, and in your head she's come, and now you're thinking, you know what? Let me just bust quick. Maybe I got somewhere to go. It could be that, or it felt so good.
I wish you
And
could
he-
see Georgette's face right now.
And he
the
couldn't help
confusion.
himself. And he
Go-
couldn't help himself.
go
But
on.
you've got to understand that you got to understand the feeling and the psyche of men. And sometimes men want to bust and leave, and sometimes men feel it feels so good that they just can't help
No,
themselves.
so you don't think that he was doing that? Go on, say what you're gonna say.
Okay, so I wanted to come back to when you had said about him like considering my feelings. So were you saying that because he gave me head, he was considering my feelings?
No, you said that.
I said that.
What? I thought.
So are we
Hold on.
saying that giving a woman head means that you're considering her feelings?
No. You're
To
saying that
some
he.
guys, perhaps. Yeah.
Hold on. Can I say what I'm saying?
Go on.
Right. So, somebody said that he just wanted to bust and go. Yeah. I'm saying if he just wanted to bust and go, he wouldn't bother to go down on her. He would just bust and go. Why would he bother to do that?
Because
So
he wanted to
obviously,
make
at
her
some
come,
point
innit?
at some point in his situation, he was considering you. He wasn't a case of that he was just being selfish and just wanting to bust and go because he
I
considered
feel
you.
it is my duty to.
He considered
Please,
you.
that booty.
Whether or not you feel like it was acceptable consideration, that's here nor there. He still considered you. It wasn't a case of I'm just gonna bust and leave because he considered her and made sure she got to somewhere Maybe he didn't. She wanted to go abroad, and he only took her.
To the bus stop.
You know what I mean?
He only took her to Europe.
Yeah, he didn't Uber her. He just Ubered her.
We're on the same page.
All right,
by the way.
but okay.
Sorry, go on.
Because we have asked you a few questions.
Yes.
You've started many stories and haven't got to finish anything. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I want to hear the end of what you're gonna say. So I don't know if you remember anything that you're gonna be one of them. Oh, well, I don't know what to say anymore now. But you were saying stuff. People kept cutting you off. By all means, we've zigzagged.
Yeah.
Just finish what you're saying. Hopefully, people won't cut you off this time and scream and shout and toss their microphones and whatnot all over the place.
Okay, so in terms of penis shaming, I definitely don't think that women should do it. I just tell my story. It probably comes across as penis shaming, but I'm not out here to penis shame. I just think it's a case where I just know what I like, and I think the difference between like men and women is a guy can like be out in a club or like on the street and he can physically see what the woman has to work with, so he can see whether she's got thick thighs or she's got like if she's dressed in like fitted clothes, you can see that she has a bum, you can see that she's got like a small waist, blah blah blah. I can't tell what your dick looks like until we get to it sometimes. But more time I can't tell until we get to it. So I feel like for women that have been in that situation, that's been the issue where
Did you feel deceived?
Hmm?
Did you feel deceived?
In life, do you ever let anyone finish?
Oh my God.
So I just feel like for women, we almost have to wait until like we're both naked, about to have sex before we can see what this guy's actually working with. Unless you've had like the odd dick pic here and there, blah blah blah. And then in terms of the guy that I felt was bad sex, it was just bad sex for me because I don't like that. Like, I like rounds. I don't want you to come quick. And if you do, then I want you to be able to go again within half an hour. That's just how I am.
You couldn't go again within half an hour?
I was done and he was done.
So that's not
Okay,
question.
no. He couldn't go again.
God damn.
He was done. So I was just like...
That's a different story.
Okay.
That's a different story. That's a different story.
Depending what you ate.
There's
If you had pounded yam in it.
and it could have been KFC. I don't know, but there are some guys that kind of do the bullets. They'll come and keep coming, and a number of times. And then there's other people that kind of got like a atomic bomb where it goes up and it'll last for a while, and then they'll drop their load.
Going back to what you were saying, because me and Simple gave each other the eye when you was talking about, you know, men can see a woman and they can see everything. For one, in 2018, whatever you got underneath there might not even be real, right? Could just be all fake all underneath.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Blatantly. 2, you got a big back off, you got a big breast. That's got nothing to do with your vagina, you know.
No, but like, it's what you're attracted to.
Yeah, but you might not be able to work it either. So the same way the person had a penis and that looked decent to you, you used it, it works well, and then the second time it didn't work well, there's women that might have the finest body in the world and they're trashing.
Can I ask you a question?
Trash.
Right? Yeah, can we ask you a question?
Trash.
Do women actually
Taken
talk?
out on Mondays and Fridays.
Do women actually talk about when they are bad at sex?
Not enough.
Because I think men will say, boy, I was rubbish yesterday, fam. I bust quick, blah, blah, blah.
I flopped the game.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I was in and out, like, you know, nothing. I couldn't do nothing. But do women actually say to each other, you know what, yesterday...
They say he was rubbish.
Yesterday, yeah. There was a case that they blame the men over there. Say, yesterday, you know, I was riding. I couldn't even be on... Is you the one that said that don't go on top?
I go on top.
Okay, there was somebody said don't go on top. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, there was somebody on somewhere that said they don't go on top. I can't remember who it was.
Not everyday podcast.
Oh, okay, they said they don't ride. But anyway, stuff like, you know, I couldn't ride today, or he asked this of me and I couldn't do it. Do women actually have the conversation with each other to show how shit they are at times? Or is it a case that they're just...
But then I feel like women don't do that because women aren't almost brought up to be able to know that they can talk about sex openly.
Okay.
So whereas I feel like guys might talk about it like in the group chat or are just more open to talking about sex because you're almost brought up to have sex. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas like women are kind of taught to be very docile. You know, you have to wait until your husband comes along and scoosh off your feet and then you can have sex with him. Like women aren't taught to have sex talk.
Yeah, don't have sex. Don't talk about sex. There you go. All right.
But would you go as far to admit that at times you've been shitting?
Yeah, of course I would.
So should they X you out?
And did they, from that point, did they kind of dismiss you, or you know, did they forget that?
Probably.
They didn't dismiss you, man. Don't even try. No man is dismissing no woman because of bad sex once.
It's true. But
They won't.
They won't, man. They'll be back as well.
Simple. You wanna say something last thing before we move on?
You were saying about you as a man, you can see like the body parts and all the rest of it. Maybe you need to identify big dick walk. There is something called the big dick walk.
well, like Vince McMahon. You know how Vince McMahon walks in the WWE.
Yeah, there is something called big dick walk.
Not necessarily.
And I know about like the third step. They like stepped up to like readjust.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
but there's some man that's got not when their dick is not erect, it's not big, and then when it's erect, it's big.
That's true.
So they will be walking normal.
Them mans are called the growers.
Yeah.
Alright.
Shout out to the growers, fam.
Yes.
Shout out to the growers.
Wow.
Should we move on?
Okay.
Hold on.
Alright.
Oh.
There was one question that I want to ask,
Go ahead.
actually. To a woman relating to sex. Yeah, I know you're going to do your side. Circumcised or uncircumcised dick? Which do you prefer and why?
So I've had both.
You've had a lot of big dick, that's what you said. So.
Yeah.
That tease, Mr. Wick.
What do I prefer? I guess circumcised, because then I don't have to like go looking for it.
See, lazy.
So when it comes to the actual penetration, there's not much difference. or-
Nah,
Okay.
not to me.
Okay. But to some other women, I think
Maybe.
they would say so. All right.
Okay.
Right.
Are we all finished?
Just move on.
Asking
bruv.
this woman all these questions.
Just
All
move
we
on.
want to talk about was dick shaming.
In fact, do you want to ask any questions before we move on? Because I feel it's a bit
one-sided.
bit dodgy that we all just drilled you with questions and you didn't get to say nothing. Well, you did, but you chose not to. So I'm asking you to say something, to ask something. On your show, that's what you do, anyways.
Yeah.
You got guys here, man. So
Yeah, man. One each.
Maybe I can do like a an icebreaker. Let me think of an icebreaker that I've asked people
Answer your
before.
damn ass breakers.
Those are not icebreakers, man.
Thumb in the bum.
Thumb in the bum.
raw.
For the woman.
So, do you guys either like thumbs in your bum, or have you put your thumbs in bums?
I ain't thumbing. No one's thumbing my nothing, man.
Stavros sucks his rum.
Me.
What are you talking about?
So I'm not going to be putting it in there, am I?
Oh, okay.
Do you suck both thumbs, bro?
No, I only suck. No. I'm married. That's what I'm saying. I'm married. I'm saying
God damn.
The ring finger.
I'm married. That's all I'm saying is I'm married. But
I still can't believe you do that.
I only suck one thumb. There's 9 other things there. But I'm married.
So,
That's Stavros'
So
answer.
fingers then.
That's Stavros' answer.
Fair enough.
so
I'm
you've done it before?
I'm married.
That's a
Yeah,
yes.
ask any question you want to ask. I'm married.
Yeah. But there's other people here that aren't married.
I never put a finger in the ass. I've never had one in my mouth.
Yeah. Listen.
Dealing with old people.
No,
You haven't answered.
No, I've never.
No.
Hey, my Rasta don't do anything. Rasta
like
don't do
he
them
said,
thing.
was
The
it-
bomb back lot.
you're not answering the question either.
Answer them.
So all of you said you've never done it.
I said I ain't doing
Okay,
none of that
alright.
stuff in my bum. Nothing going in my bum.
Stavros is not like these people.
So you've had a finger
So
in
you
your bum?
have.
All I'm saying is,
So somebody put a finger in your ass.
no.
I'm telling mum.
No.
My man.
All I'm saying
You've
is,
had a rainbow, though.
all I'm
innit?
saying is, which one's the rainbow? Oh, yeah, I remember the rainbow. All I'm saying is,
What the hell is that?
from front to back, innit? All I'm saying is,
Is it?
front to back, side to side.
What are you on about?
You've put your thumb.
All I'm saying is,
Yeah, you have.
All I'm saying is,
Yeah, you have.
I'm married.
So yeah, you have.
All I'm saying is, I'm married. That's
Keep
all I'm
going.
saying.
Keep going anyway.
Alright.
What's the next one?
I feel like everyone said no to spit. Like, is that? Well,
No.
you said I'm married.
He's done it, man.
If I put it this way, I'm happy to say no.
But then you'll be lying.
No, I won't be lying.
Okay.
You don't get it.
No.
No, I don't, bro.
If you
I
ask
think
me a
I
question
get
and
it.
I say no, and I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, so everything he doesn't say no about means he's done.
No, not necessarily. I'm just married.
You joker.
But I'm happy to say no when I need to say no.
Spitting, what do you mean? Like being spat at or spitting at somebody?
So maybe like
Spit on the dick.
someone's spitting in your mouth.
Oh, hell no.
Married.
Right. Divorce.
I'll spit on the
Separated.
tip, though.
Spitting during oral.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Standard.
No, that's like, that's
Go on.
not even
That's like, I wash my teeth in the morning. Like.
What about like cum swapping?
Let's end here. So the next question is:
Hold on. Can you explain what that is, please?
Cum swapping,
Mm-hmm.
When you busting them out.
and then you kiss.
Oh shit! Hell no.
No.
That.
No.
Cum swapping.
Hold on.
That's kind of
Are
weird,
you,
though.
Are you? Is your nose growing, bruv?
Rah.
I've just told you.
You doing
Bruv.
Pinocchio?
Okay.
I don't know, man. I'm not. I don't get the whole no thing in it. I don't know.
Because you're old. That's why. When you're
You guys get it.
One more
I
question.
get it.
All right.
Have you made a woman squirt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you squirt?
Yes.
Oh goddamn.
For his him. He hasn't
Huh?
done it. He hasn't done it.
No?
don't. I'm married.
Do you know
But-
what? You know, the funny thing is about I mean, you know, we're gonna. Sorry, I know you want to move on, but I was having a discussion with some ladies in a group that I'm in. None of them have squirted before,
Mm-hmm.
and they were convinced that it's urine. And that's what they were convinced, that it can't be anything other. So
Right,
coming from
it is.
somebody,
Kind of.
well, coming from somebody who has, speak to me.
It comes from your urinary tract, so there will be trace elements.
Yeah,
of urine.
there's,
That's why-
there's probably traits of it, but it's not urine. Like
Yeah.
you're not.
Okay.
You have to go to this. You know where you go to like the,
If you see Wahala, these guys are laughing at Stavros because he's using his hands
Vigorously as well.
vigorously. That will make a.
you know when you go inside.
Make a.
Squirt.
You know when you go inside and there's like a little.
You kind of curve your fingers, yeah.
And you can feel the little
All right.
this thing in
It's
it.
there.
Ring the doorbell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come hither.
But so you're saying that it has urine.
Yeah, like there's traits of it, but you're not pissing. Like, do you know what I mean? But you have to be like completely relaxed, because I think a lot of women get to that point where they think they're going to, and
Yeah.
and then they're like, I think I need to pee, and it's not
and then
pee.
They stop.
Yeah,
Yes,
and then
yes,
they
yes.
stop. So you just have to like completely relax and just let your body do what
How about the
it
gushing
wants
then?
to do.
The gushing of the water that comes out.
You can't help
'Cause-
yourself.
I know.
Nah.
Because she's got a question that we need to move on to.
Okay, just quickly, you know, you've got the squirt. Yeah. You've got the squirt, and then you've got the gush like it's a bucket of water that's just come out. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, like I think it just depends on how women do it. So like some women might just trickle, some women fully gush. So
All right.
I thought you had a question.
No.
No?
I think
okay.
I think we're just
Next.
trying to get onto the other question that you
Yep.
asked us.
That who asked you?
Didn't she put a question in the group?
Just post the question. Go.
Oh yeah.
Said I?
What was the one that you added on?
Oh,
About selling yourself.
selling your virginity,
Mm,
but like
How much?
more in
How much are
terms
you
of-
worth? How
yeah,
much is your worth?
yeah.
Are you asking us, man, how much we're worth? Is that what you're asking?
let me find the actual thing. Where is it?
Well, I'm cheap,
Because
I'm cheap.
While he's looking for that,
He would just take food, man.
My missus could
You'll
have got
take-
me with a couple
you'll
of
take
goats and
suya.
couple goats and some Tesco.
You'll take suya, beef suya.
couple goats
That,
and
that
some
comes
Tesco.
on time.
What is some Tesco?
That's an everyday shop.
It's a
And you're sold.
a couple goats and
Do me a
little
favour.
helps.
Yeah.
find a topic, find a tweet. I mean, you can read it because it's between a man and a woman, a white man and a black woman.
What?
Oh.
Oh, I know what tweet you're talking about.
Yeah. It's a long thing. So rather than me just reading it myself, we can go backwards and forwards. If you're happy doing that, because I don't know, I wouldn't want to be the woman, but it's up to you.
Well, you want to be the woman, bro?
No, I said, what is wrong with you?
I'm just saying, you know.
So take your time. It's all right. It's there somewhere. The topic was about. You'll find it.
So
You'll find
Wahala, would you take a suya from the suya shop that comes straight away in exchange for your sexual endeavors?
Only my wife can pay for this. So me for this, you know.
Yeah, but we're just saying, innit?
Outside can't pay that. Outside I'm expensive. Inside I'm cheap.
it. You found the thing.
I keep hitting the mic. Sorry. Yes.
You got the pictures.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
let's
There's
go,
screenshots.
let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
From your come on me
This is a.
Why can't talk about?
Are you happy to read it? By the way.
Yeah. I guess
sure?
so. Yeah.
All right. So you'll be grey and I'm green.
No. I'm green.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
I told you.
Unless you want to be the woman.
No,
Like,
green bitch. No.
I told
All right.
you. I told you.
All right. So this is a thread. It's a text message
quite
thread
long.
between
Are we going to read it all? Because it's a bit long, you know?
You can just not read it then.
Can we just paraphrase?
Go on then. You do it.
Okay, so basically, from what I got from the text, it's between a sugar daddy and a sugar baby,
Yes.
right? And so the sugar daddy is a white man, the sugar baby is a black woman. So the sugar baby is asking the sugar daddy what he wants. Am I talking in the mic right? Is asking the sugar daddy what he would want, because I think he'd been away on a trip, blah blah blah. He wanted to reenact slavery in the bedroom. Yeah, am I right?
Yes.
Keep going.
Her first thing was, I don't know if I'm like comfortable with all that. He continued.
And then he was like, "Oh well, we can try the whole. Your husband's gone out somewhere
To the field or something, and I've taken you from the field into the big house or something
Yeah.
like that.
And it will fit because you're light skinned. So those women in the big
Yeah.
house were light skinned.
So they're going back and forth between her trying to say why she's not up for it. He is then like, all right, well, how about I give you...
Before you say that, because he's talking about beating her and whatnot, he's like, well, if you don't like the beat, she's like, no, I like to get hit and whatnot. So that's not the issue. The issue is the racial aspect of it, not even like the physical, because it's basically like a rape thing and a beating thing. And she said she doesn't mind those two issues. It's the thing about this race thing. And then he says
that he will give her 15 grand and then an additional 5,000 on top of that as a bonus, to which she was like, absolutely, like, thank you, that's fine. And then also said, I can't say the N word on.
Yeah, you can say
this
it because you're quoting.
Okay, and then she then said, for that price you can call me a nigger bitch too, if that will turn you on more.
Yes, it will be phenomenal. See you tonight. I will bring the paperwork. I got to go into a Skype meeting.
See
He says paperwork
see that
because
consent there?
yeah, because he said he wants to sign consent for this.
See that consent right there?
So the tweet was put up there. I don't think the tweet is real, to be honest with you, but it was put out there by somebody that I think even in essence says they're a bit of a troll. But
Oh my god!
but it becomes a long thread, and most people, most of the people reading it, male and female, said, "Boy, I wasn't feeling this thread until he said 15K," and then I was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" The men were like, "Boy, fair enough," and the women was like, "I would do it for 15K, for 20 plus 5K." That's what most, not some, not half, most of the people said.
Boy.
So we got to this question. What is your self-worth? Like, would you do it? Like, everyone's talking, like, because it was sent to our group, and everyone was like, that's disgusting. And I think somebody said, are you sure you wouldn't do it for 50? Would you let a woman do it to you?
Okay, I want you to understand that was Wahala.
Yeah.
So Wahala put in the group chat, if a woman said to you, give me your nigger dick for 15K, I'm sure there's a lot of men in here that would probably do it. Not saying that I would do it. Unbeknownst to everyone else, I put that in the wrong group chat. I put that in the family chat by accident.
That was so funny.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
Of course.
I deleted it so fast. And then who used to want to pick me up? My missus. What was that?
No.
And then Sam came with the eyes. I was like, oh my God.
I came with the eyes because I saw it.
I thought you didn't see it. I didn't think anybody saw it. I should
saw
pay
it.
me up. Like, why are you paying me up for?
I saw, big man. I saw.
That's deep.
But anyways, beside that, you put it in the wrong group.
Put it in the wrong group. But I
Now-
think that there's a lot of men out there. If a woman was offering, there's a lot of men out there that's quite happy to do race play for free, let alone doing it for money.
You're laughing. It's true.
It is true though.
There's some men out there that will quite happy be that the buck.
Let
For free.
me say this now. If I were in a relationship with a white woman,
The white.
yeah, I would probably do it for free as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would do the race play.
Let me start off again.
You're a coon.
Yes, that would be the case. That would be the case. If I were in a relationship with a white woman, I would probably.
So are you saying that people that get into relationships with white?
No. Because I was just about to put that disclaimer there because I don't want it to seem like, oh, you're saying that all men, black men that might be with a white woman are cooning and they would do it. I'm saying I'm honestly pointing the finger at me. If I were in a relationship with a white woman, not if they're asking to pay for me, that would probably I don't know what I would do in that situation. But if I were in a relationship with a white woman, I would probably do something like that.
you're gonna get slaughtered online. That's no, yeah.
Okay, but I've never been in a relationship with a white woman, and I'm married. So that's Stavros. I just want to, because I know
If you're-
so I'm going to tell you that if I were, then I would, potentially I would.
If your woman was,
No more questions. That's don't
Alright,
don't
You know what?
start delving into it.
It's only because you're respecting you and your marriage. I'm not gonna make jokes,
Thank you,
but I would like to make jokes.
thank you. But
But I don't respect your relationship or your marriage because you're not married yet. When you was talking about the race play and the light skin thing in the house, I imagine Simple Simon in the big house saying, "Master's in the big house with Letitia."
Why does it have to be Simple Simon?
He's by himself because he's the only one that be in the big house. Everyone else will be on the field.
Also, he's come out to snitch.
So you come out to snitch. Master be in the big house with Letitia.
Come here, boys.
Master be in the big house. He took Letitia in there.
So, okay, what is your self-worth? So, guys, would you do something like this for £15,000?
No.
It's 20 grand.
Wahala's not doing it.
20 grand.
Wahala's not doing it.
50 grand.
Wahala's not doing it.
150 grand.
Wahala's not doing it.
A
A
million.
lot of money.
Wahala's not
A
doing it.
million.
Wahala's not doing it.
Any money at all?
No, I'm not doing that type of thing for money. Not that. There's a lot of things I might do for money, but not
You're
that.
single, by the way.
Like
Single,
what?
good-looking woman.
No. You're not calling me nigga dick for no, I'm not happening. Nah, man.
Simple Simon. Okay, so Wahala's saying he's not doing it for no money.
I'm not
Like-
doing it for no
like-
money. Not that.
Let me think.
Big shoe.
Meatloaf would have done it straight. Bro.
Come back to me. I'm thinking about it.
You would do it.
No, I said come
You
back
ain't
to
no
me.
rasta.
I'm
There's
thinking
some,
about it.
you know what? Sometimes you can
Nah,
use money for
dingy.
good. Sometimes you need to take a hit to help the people.
Nah, I'm not having that, man.
Mr. Wolf, what would you do?
I can't go to sleep like that.
She ain't gonna let you sleep.
For how much?
50K.
What I
No
would say
chance.
is, what's
No
the minimum money you would do it for? That's the.
So you do it for money, basically.
I don't know.
Because it might get to the point where it's like you wouldn't do it for 5K, 10K, 100K, and then somebody says, 17.5 million, and then you look at it, it's like, boy, what could I do with that money?
It's like we all have morals in it.
Mhm.
Some less than others. Some people do certain things for a lot less, man.
What's your pride worth?
It's what I'm saying, and like you said, you can use loads of money to do a lot of good things. You know what I mean? A lot of people have used dirty money, and that's the thing. A lot of people.
Mr. Wolf is telling us £5.
I'm just saying that a lot of people have used dirty money. Money that has
Dirty
contributed
cash.
to killing people to do good things, innit? So when you kind of
Yeah, we had a
marry
discussion.
those
yeah.
two things up, maybe I would do it for a certain price. You get me?
I can't do it. I don't think I'll be able to look at myself and be all right.
I would.
But I don't even think I also don't think I'll be able to look at myself and be all right if I didn't take the money also. But I think
That's
I'll
the
be
thing.
more inclined. I've got this thing about the morals things, and I actually do feel like bad, and it plays on my brain. So I don't think I could do it.
I think that now taking out the situation, if I was just in a relationship, if I was just in a situation where I was single and there was a person that was willing to pay me money to do that, to do that, yeah, the male equivalent, I would say that there is a money I would do it for, but it would never be just for me. It would never be that the money is just there and helping me. I got a nice car and I got a nice house now, and I can do what I want. It would always be that I am taking the hit to help my people, and I just have to figure out what monetary value is that my people is, whether it's just my family or extended, my community, my country. At some point, somebody's like, let's say it's 500 mil. I can't say that I'm not gonna go back home and do something with that 500 mil, and then I can look in the mirror and say,
I took the hit for this.
I did it for the people.
So only if you were desperate then, like
It's not desperate. No, I wouldn't do it. Because I'm not in a situation where financially I'm desperate, so I can't even relate to that anymore.
Okay.
So I can only think of going forward, and I'm always thinking of when I make money, what am I doing with it? And it's always that there's all this money up until a point where it's just for me and my family, and then once it gets beyond that, I'm always just looking. So what can I do to help other people? And I don't think I would do this act for me and my family. It would be beyond that point.
Okay.
And what's the money beyond that point?
Yeah. Okay.
So now the question is to you: would you do it for any kind of money?
Use.
I'd be battling my morals, man, because in my mind I'm just gonna be thinking you're just a racist piece of shit, and is it worth that?
What's the name of that film?
Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
So I don't know. I really, really don't know. On the flip side, and I guess to throw like a spanner in, I have had a sugar daddy before, which was quite fun
Why was it fun?
because I got free money.
Okay.
But was it in exchange for sex?
No,
It's different. Then,
So
innit?
so you boops him.
It doesn't,
Boops.
you could take sex out of the equation.
Okay.
It's not even a sex thing, is it? Really, that's the
The
point.
African
This
term
sugar-
is
this sugar-
boopsing.
This sugar daddy,
yeah,
were they African?
no.
Okay, because that's just our uncle as far as I'm concerned. That's nothing special for us, really, is it?
No.
Regardless of the race, innit? It's boopsing. That's
No, it's not boopsing if the person that knows what they're not
yeah.
getting anything. There's some men that know they're not getting anything from you.
100%.
No, but they are
And
getting
want-
something.
Well, they're getting. No, I'm talking about sexually.
Yeah, okay.
But
they're
not-
getting something.
But they're getting whatever they want to get in return.
That's it.
For
There's
me,
men
it's an
that
ownership
know-
thing. They own you, or they feel they own you for that period of time.
I don't. It's not boopsing because
They're paying for a service.
This is what I want from you. Whether it's your time, your attention, your whatever it is,
Something,
and that's what
yeah.
that is what I'm paying for.
Like
so
it's an
so it's like
exchange.
an escort.
it's a deal. Yeah.
It's like an escort.
But I was surprised that no one mentioned. You just said it now, I suppose. But I was surprised none of us even mentioned the fact that we're hoeing ourselves. We're happy to do that, but the extra bit is the problem with the race play.
If it's, I mean, how much would you say, Stavros?
I don't know, but there's a money I'll do it for. So that's me. There's money I'll do it for. Simple Simon and Georgette have not answered the question.
No.
So
I
you two,
haven't.
before we keep going, because we're running out of time.
You first.
You two need to answer this question.
I've sat here, I've listened to your answers. I thought about it when you first made the question. I've sat here and I've listened to your answers, and I'm still at somewhat of an impasse because this isn't, like you said earlier, Stav, like I'm not in a financial situation of desperation at the moment. So I can't align myself with the mentality that would actually, allow me to say, yeah, I'm prepared to do this. But
This is a rasta that don't eat pork and it doesn't eat meat. Sorry, full stop.
yeah, but
Dreadlocks down to the floor.
But on the flip side of this as well, I'm also saying to myself, what does it mean? What is the componentry that's occurring here when you allow somebody to degrade you for money?
It's not even a degrading of you, bruv. It's like they're taking all of that ancestry that these people have had to go through and making it a joke thing,
Yeah.
making it a game.
And this is what I'm talking about.
That's why I can't do it.
That's where for me I'm just like, but again, you make a compelling argument with regards to using if the money's enough to help other people. That's a compelling argument as far as I'm concerned. But I don't think that if I was to do that, I would still be able to look in the mirror and say to myself, what you've done is a good thing.
I think, can
I
you
don't think I could-
compare
I
it
don't
to
think-
strippers?
I couldn't console myself
Mm.
with that.
You
And,
said-
and it would be something that I would literally, my soul would burn for the rest of my
So
life.
you're saying
the
saying
money's
no.
not worth it, man.
I'm saying no as well.
Can you compare it to strippers?
No.
No, I will strip for money.
I'd strip for money.
I work hard.
I wouldn't strip for money, but if you gave me enough money to strip privately, if I was single and somebody said they're gonna give me 400 million to strip, you could see as much flab as you want, mate. I take all out.
Mad money, though. No.
Dancing for money.
I understand fully
you
what
want
Simple
me
Simon
to
is
do?
saying.
Tina was involved, you know.
I'm your private dancer.
But I don't
dancing
know.
for money.
I can't.
Yeah.
And I think 'cause
your
also,
music
like-
will do. Sorry.
Like, in that moment, we both know why this is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, the guy knows why this is wrong.
Of course.
Yeah, so, like, it's...
He's buying your morals.
Yeah, so...
And that's why I can't sell my morals.
You can
man.
say
It's a no
we
for
know why
me.
it's wrong, but like they might be hitting you and stuff, and you can say we both know why it's wrong. It's like, well, no, it's not wrong because we're both cool with it.
No, but then
Like-
here's the thing. Yeah, like
Because that was part of the,
Yes.
that was part of the equation.
Yeah.
I
The man
think
thought,
it
oh,
just
they-
depends on the individual, innit? Like Simple Simon has said, I won't be able to look in the mirror and think that I've done the right thing. Some people are just cold-hearted, innit? They can do certain jobs that other people can't do.
Yeah.
They can do
Hire them.
certain things that they can't do. And there's some people that are going to say, no, I can't do it because. And then there's going to be other people that are going to say, just like Stavros and myself, and I'm of the same mindset that people have used blood money to do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
You can do and help people in your circle, outside of your family, and other people that you don't even know with loads of money. So I personally would be able to look myself in the mirror and say, you know what, boy, not great, but look what it's doing.
Fair enough. Can I just quickly?
I think it's selfish for you people to not do it.
There you go.
If from the minute I say, if you could, the money is so much that you could help a whole lots of people. Yeah, let's say even say it's 10,000, just 10,000.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Then that's selfish to
But
say.
let's say that
But the
ten-
white man has actually used slave money to empower their own people, and they knew that slavery was wrong. You get me? So,
But let's say that you do use the 10,000 to empower their own people, and you the truth. They ask you, how did you acquire this money? And you say, you know what, I played race play, and somebody
I don't
called
have
me.
to tell you what.
But they asked you, and you felt compelled to tell them the
Well, I
truth.
wouldn't feel compelled.
But
to
I'm
tell
asking,
them the
let's just say that it's, and then they didn't feel like, you know what, that's okay for what I can do that as well. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not gonna be that person that perpetrates that, because you know why? I've got morals. And you know who else has got morals?
segue.
Khabib. Khabib has got morals too.
Before we move on, I want to establish that Mr. Wolf and Stavros said they would do it for a certain amount of money, but we haven't established what money it is. But it's enough to help somebody else or other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Go on.
And Simple Simon, Big Wahala, and Georgette have said that they wouldn't do it. They don't think they could look at themselves in the mirror. It's a moral thing, and they wouldn't do it.
And you said you'd do it for free.
If I was in a relationship.
Private dancer.
So basically,
so-
the real black people said they wouldn't do it, and then these lot.
My original segue before was when you were talking about people with penis, how do they walk? And I was gonna say maybe they walk like McGregor.
McGregor
That was gonna be my segue.
he actually walks like Vince McMahon.
A little bit. But
Go on then,
let's get into this thing, man.
because we have a UFC fan.
Yes, we
is-
do. Georgette. But let's get into this thing. So Conor McGregor and Khabib got into a bit of a scrap on the Saturday.
You
Sunday
need to
morning.
explain. This is
Well, they had a fight, innit? There was a light heavyweight championship fight.
It wasn't a scrap, bro. It was a big money fight. Bro.
Yeah, big money fight, light heavyweight championship bout. That's been
boxing.
UFC. You
Okay.
said UFC already, though, haven't you?
Yeah,
How
I
many
said
times do I have to say the same
we have a
thing over and
UFC
over
fan.
again? Bloody hell. So yeah, so this fight has been a long time coming. Their beef has been stretching from about April, innit? I think it's been beef has
Long
been
before,
stretching.
mate.
Even
Long
long before. But within this time, obviously, people that know Conor McGregor know that his mouth is big, his mouth is wide, and he says a lot of things. So Khabib has had to take a lot of abuse. He's abused his father. He's abused his religion.
His country.
He's abused his country. He's called his trainer a terrorist snitch. He's said a lot of things
He
about
said
him.
the same thing about his dad, innit? That
That
his
his dad's a
dad
terrorist.
is a terrorist. That he was part of 9/11.
No, that was the trainer. Unless the trainer's
No,
his
his
dad.
dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it must be his dad then.
Okay, so he
And the
also,
bus as well, sorry.
yeah, also the case that of, well, we agreed with the bus move, by the way.
Okay.
ESN podcast agreed with the bus move.
We discussed that when it happened.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna have to go back quickly. Khabib had one of McGregor's boys up along with his whole crew in some corridor somewhere. There was a video, it was taped. McGregor saw it, got his boys on a private plane, jumped over to the States from Ireland or wherever he was, and then they basically threw chairs at his bus.
And almost blinded one of them.
Yeah, and then got arrested for it.
So that's how far the beef has gone. But Conor McGregor is known to go too far. Even when he was fighting Mayweather, he was calling these people monkeys.
Yeah, boy.
He's like,
Dance for me, boy.
Yeah.
Dance for me, boy. It was
Dance.
a lot of race play
Hella
in that
racist.
situation. So I think Mayweather would do it as well, because he was doing it there, right? So a lot of race play. In the past, he was talking about the Mexicans as well. When he was fighting Diaz and them lot, I think he was talking about how the Mexicans and they're all this, that, and the other.
He said it. What did he say? He said, "I would have been on the horse."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bastard.
Bulls that would have come
Yeah.
and wiped your people clean. All of this is very disgusting, the things he says. Perfect for wrestling, by the way. Perfect for WWE.
It's true.
But his mouth is big. So the fight happened. And Khabib beat the shit out of him.
It was a great fight.
Beat the utter shit out of the man and then made him tap out in the last round.
Tell
Yeah?
us about the fight.
The fourth round.
The fourth round, yeah.
So I thought it was the last round. Go on,
No,
then.
the fourth.
Tell us about the fight and what made it good for you.
So Khabib is great at grappling. So I mean, he's good all round, but when he's on the floor, that's his
Boring.
territory.
that's
See,
his
I
territory.
don't find that boring because it's all of the like technical stuff. So I've been and watched a fight live, and it's like you get people that are into it for the sport, and then people who are just a bit yobbish and get up, punch him, what the fuck are you doing?
Savagery.
Yeah. So
Be more savage. Where's the blood?
so I found it quite interesting to watch his actual technique when they were on the ground, and he dominated it.
You actually appreciate the art of,
Yeah.
of
He gave him a
UFC.
good punches in his face as well.
and like even the stats as well. Like I can't remember them off the top of my head now, but anyway, and then so he did. He won by submission. He did a rear naked choke on McGregor.
Yeah.
And then it just went so left, but I can understand why. Sorry, go on.
No. I
And
want you to carry on.
and what
I want you to carry on.
happened?
Yeah, why are you doing this then?
No,
We're about
because
talking.
I was saying he didn't. She made it sound so elegant. He choked him out, and he didn't want to let go.
Yeah,
He
because
didn't
after,
want to
after
let
the
go.
referee,
It-
I've seen the ending.
The referee had to
but not
drag
the
him.
fight.
He wanted to choke.
He didn't have to drag him off. He tapped him. He didn't drag him.
He
Yeah,
tapped,
he
but
didn't-
when he tapped, he wanted to kill him.
Because he tapped him once, like to get off. He's tapped out, and he didn't let go. And he tapped him, get off, and he got off. He didn't drag him.
Because
He's
he
such a
wanted to kill him.
storyteller.
But then also in saying that, I've watched I've watched other fighters who when they're in the
in the zone.
Octagon.
yeah, like in octagon, they're there to kill you. So for instance, when Ronda Rousey used to fight, she was there to break your arm. Like
Yeah.
everybody knew she's gonna come in within like the second round, she's doing an armbar and she's planning to break your arm. So it's a similar thing where I think he was caught in so much. Like the fight was good,
I
and
thought he actually was going to break his arm. I thought that was his plan when he gets on the floor to break
I mean,
a bone.
to be fair, he had said from before, he's like, I'm going to rearrange your face. Like, don't think that this is
No.
a joke.
No. He said, I'm going to change
Your face. There we go.
That's deep.
Do you know how mad that is? Your face, yeah? I'm going to change it.
Don't worry, I'm going to change your face.
I'm going to take I'm going to take your face off.
You talk about my father. I'm going to rearrange face. I'm
It's
going to change
mad.
face. You're going to look like somebody else.
I wish I could play what he actually said at the end when he after the fight, because it was so poetic.
Yeah.
What he said after the fight.
So then
Maybe I could.
Herb stops the fight. He like taps him away, and then he like switches his whole attention onto McGregor's trainer.
Yep.
And then just
His camp, yeah. So
Camp, yeah.
Go on.
Because you're too nice. The man scaled the octagon with what? First he started pointing at the man saying what blah 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 blah. Then he scaled the octagon with one jump. I don't know how he did it.
He hopped over the cage.
And then he fly kicked the man in the crowd.
Yeah.
That started a mass brawl. Then Conor McGregor tried to jump the fence, but somebody pulled him back while he was trying to do it. And then one of the trainers for Khabib tried to jump the fence. McGregor swung a punch at him. Then
Which no one's highlight.
Yeah, no one's highlighted that, yeah? But then he swung a punch back. But then let's be real though, Khabib's man did come from behind.
He got him sweet.
Like a bitch. He came from behind and gave him a bitch lick in the back of the head a couple times.
Yeah.
But again, I'm assuming these are all this man's family, and this man has just been cussing them over and over again. And then they said, enough is enough.
This is what you do when you do, before you start a fight, though.
This is a beef thing.
Because what I saw from Khabib is one of the things he said is, listen, I understand that you're there to hype up a fight. I know he's, you hype up a fight before you start. This is how you make your money. That's what he said. But you took it too far. You can. We are there to badmouth each other. We are there to talk and whatever. But you talk about my family. You talk about my dad. You talk about my religion. Yeah. So McGregor's, I think he's been sponsored by a liquor. And obviously, Khabib is a Muslim, so he's even talking.
Even that
That's
was
his
rude.
own company, his own brand, by the way.
Okay, so he's got his own whiskey, no stereotype, with the Irishman with his whiskey, and so yeah, he was pouring glasses and offering it to Khabib, putting it on the table, like, oh, why don't you drink? Why don't you drink? Why don't you drink? I bet you fun of the parties, aren't you? Sorry for my accent, but I'm not as good as Simple Simon with the accents.
So to the matter is,
but what is the actual question then?
He is the cash cow for UFC, isn't it?
It was.
So even up to now, they will have a rematch because that fight is gonna make a lot of money. That sounded like a.
It's not what you think.
You know what I mean?
For you two, I understand that's why you fought. You went straight there.
Yeah. So Yeah, trust me, he's still the cash cow.
Blatantly, and that's why
UFC.
Dana White is protecting him because what I didn't
Exactly.
like is he does all of this stuff. Remember, we've had
All the
we had a
racial
couple
stuff,
of.
man.
How many seconds did we discuss about the things he's done to this guy? This guy's done one thing after now, and suddenly they're saying they're going to take away his purse.
Yeah,
They're
and
not paying
ban
him, and they're looking at banning him. But McGregor's been doing this from the beginning of time. So what's the difference between man like Khabib and man like McGregor?
But then like, this is the thing, like where
Khabib doesn't like dogs.
as much as this is like
Khabib fights
it's
bears,
a fight, it's still very much entertainment. So they have to kind of keep in the entertainment elements as well, even if it clearly crosses the line. McGregor has crossed the line so many times, but
habitual.
But he
line
crosses
stepper.
his line with his mouth. This one crossed the line with his fist.
No, McGregor crossed the line with his fist as well.
Listen.
When he came with the bus and started smashing things up, that is crossing the line.
Yeah,
Same
but
way.
he got done. He went to court for that. He
Yeah,
wasn't
but they
court.
didn't ban him from UFC though, did they?
But that's outside. But that's the point. That happened separately. Now you can.
No, it happened at a UFC press conference.
Yeah, but he.
So it was a UFC
yes,
event.
But he himself wasn't on the press conference. He wasn't even meant to be even in the country.
Exactly.
So
But he
it-
still represents UFC.
Yeah, I understand. Listen to what I'm saying. There's a difference between I've come off my back and gone into my company or wherever something's happening, and I've tried to spark a man because of something he's done, taking into account there's video footage of him doing something as well. So you could say who started it. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened before that bit on the video, but I saw that bit on the video.
No, he also that guy. This he didn't do nothing, because he also was doing the threats and the racial this blah blah blah. That's why the man caught him in the corner.
Okay, all right. But the point is that I believe the backwards and forwards. Everyone's saying it's different. Oh, you let the man do this. But
Both of
when
them
it comes to
have played their part, bruv.
once the fight is finished and you've now jumped because everyone's saying McGregor's, certain people are saying McGregor. Look at what McGregor did. Look at what McGregor did. Khabib jumped into the crowd to fight.
Launched himself,
Yeah.
bruv.
So I believe.
So jumping in the crowd or jumping in the crowd to fight because McGregor's jumped in the crowd as well.
I don't know
So-
when today.
No,
Yeah,
at one point he jumped
I'm
in the
not
crowd
talking
to
about that.
abuse a guy that was in the ringside with his children. I was telling him he was going to do this and that to him and threatening him,
okay.
and somebody was holding him back.
That's fine.
You're
I
talking
can't
fighting,
talk. I
bruv.
can't talk for that. Well, I'm saying that in this case now, he's jumped out of the ring after he's won and started to hit people, and putting members of the public in danger. So there could have been a riot in that place.
Georgette, do you like dogs?
So you're gonna have to unlock this phone so I can play this thing.
And just to add, I think it's a thing where it's quite a like.
How are you?
Go on.
How do you press play? Whatever you did there, press play.
How can I press play?
Whenever you think that thing, it makes my thing play. He does. I don't know why. I didn't
Can't do
press
that. Finish
the
your
button.
thing and then we'll play this clip.
Yeah. So I think as a sport, it's quite barbaric anyway. So there's people who don't understand how you're putting people in an octagon to fight until something's broken or when there's blood. So they try to keep it as controlled as possible. So the fact that it got out of control, where someone hopped over the fence and fought, but still while people are watching, that's why I think it was bad, because I was just like, bro, there's so many eyes on this. This is huge right now, and you've almost tarnished your well-deserved win.
Is the CEO or whatever of the person that had the belt at the end, innit? Was
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
So even he said, because the man asked for his belt, the Khabib,
Yeah.
he was the champion beforehand. He's defended his championship. After all the kerfuffle, he's come back in the ring. There's still stuff going on, but he's like, "Where's my belt? Where's my belt?" The person that the CEO,
Dana White.
Yeah,
what's his
Dana.
name? Dana
White.
Dana White said, "I
No.
can't. I'm not gonna give you the ring. The
It would've
thing
been awful.
because I think everyone's gonna be throwing stuff. It's still gonna start a riot. If I give you this belt and let you parade it in the ring, it's gonna start a riot. So just leave basically, and you leave, McGregor leave, and we'll deal with everything later."
Bitch ass Dana White.
So anyway,
Because my God is our. That's why you do me like this.
play the thing.
What's up, guys? How are you? First of all, I want to say sorry to Athletic Commission, Nevada. Sorry to Vegas. I know this is not my best side. This is not my best side. I'm human being, and I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage. What about he talk about my religion? He talk about my country. He talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus. He almost killed couple people. What about this? What about this shit? Why people talk about I jump over the cage? Why people still talk about this? Like, I don't understand. I am respect. My father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful. My old team, where I'm training California 7 years, everybody know who I am. All my friends, like everybody who know me, they know who I am, you know. And I told you guys, these guys, not only him, his whole team and him, they tap machines. You know, I told you guys, when you put him wrong way, he gonna tap. You know, what happened today? Like, they call him 2-time world champion, like 2 weight classes, but today he tap. And that's why, alhamdulillah, belt is here, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. And you know, and I wanna say something like, you know, like people little bit, it's not people, I think it's media a little bit change MMA. This is respect sport, you know. This is not trash talking sport. This is respect. So like I told you before, guys, I want to change this game. I don't want people talk shit about like opponents, talk shit about his father, like religion. You cannot talk about religion. You cannot talk about nation. You know, guys, you cannot talk about this stuff. And you know, this is for me is very important. And thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
I love Asylum Seeker English.
Oh my
I
days.
love it.
It is just like the cocaine rap. But you know what I liked about that? If I'd used the N word, I would have said real N word shit. You know why I said that? Because it's the truth. You can run up your mouth and say all of this stuff, but when I see you, it's on sight. And when he saw him, he bust him up. And now he's saying you can keep having this type of discussion where you can have people be saying about my people's family. You can be talking about people's this, that, and the other. And you can say it's all sport, but I don't take it for sport. I take it personal. And this man took it personal. And now it's a beef thing. And I don't think anything wrong with that.
And
At
it
all.
was sometimes when people take things so personally, they get all in their emotions, rightfully so. And then those emotions sometimes get the better of them. But he was so focused from what I heard. I ain't even seen the thing, but from the feedback is that he gave him a proper seeing to, you know. And to
McGregor
make a
hasn't
man...
fought for a while though.
Sorry?
McGregor hasn't fought for a while though.
Yeah, but still, I mean, McGregor, I thought the boxing would have taught him the importance of fitness, because we saw what happened with that farcical with Mayweather, is that if you are not fit, we're talking about these boxers can last 15, 20 rounds. You get me? And after 2 rounds more time when he's doing his UFC, the man's panting. So as soon as he got to the floor, it was always going to be over, man. Always. But listen, that's how it is, man. I love UFC. I love fighting.
I'm just glad. I'm glad he got destroyed.
I like to hear women. It may sound like you don't get many women who know and understand the sport.
Yeah, because like I was going to say, so I feel... I might be wrong, but I feel like a similar thing happened between Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate, where Miesha had spoken about Ronda's father, who I think committed suicide. So she had made a comment which she just shouldn't have. So as they were prepping for the fight, Ronda was like, I'm going to break your arm. And the fight was so emotional because you could tell that Ronda was like, bitch, you took it way too far. So
did she break her arm?
Yeah, she did.
Goddamn.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Ronda Rousey was breaking people's arms all over the place until she got a kick in the face.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Like, you were a Ronda fan.
Huge fan. Fan.
So was she real then? Was she like the real deal?
Yeah, like she what was her?
Was she Taekwondo or Judo champion?
Jiu-jitsu?
Judo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Judo champion.
So she had done like that from young. So when she actually came over to the UFC, it was easy for her as well. So she just won all the time. Literally first round, second round max, and she won by the same move every time. So every woman that fought her
had a broken arm
was anxious because like they were like, as soon as I give her my arm, it's over because you can't get out of it.
I ain't fighting that.
The good thing about the good thing about UFC, every 6 months, 9, 10 months, there's new people coming out. There's new warriors coming out, new madmen coming out, new mad women, and that's why it's kind of captured the imagination. There's your boxing purists who will swear blind by it that they don't like it, but I like combat. I like the idea of fighting and getting into a ring, and I enjoy them. Very good.
You think UFC is going to take over boxing?
Never.
No.
Never ever.
Boxing's a different type of.
Never ever. There's too much money
corruption
in it, and there's a lot of corruption. There's certain things, and the history of boxing runs really deep.
But I think there's going to be a close link between
going forward. Fights.
Going forward, I think there's going to be a very close link between WWF or WWE and UFC.
You think? So? We've had 3 or 4.
You had Ken Shamrock, Brock Lesnar.
WWE guys go back and forth.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar, King Shamrock, Ronda Rousey, CM Punk now has gone over to MMA.
Has he?
Yeah,
MMA.
Yeah, he's MMA. He got beat up though, but I think he's going to be and I think at one point McGregor's going to go to WWE. I just think he's so built for him.
It is,
He can chat as much crap as he wants to chat. He will be one of the best at chatting rubbish as well, because imagine him versus The Rock.
They have the Irish following.
Yeah, but imagine him versus The Rock. I don't even have to see a fight. I just want to hear them talk.
Chat shit, yeah.
So what is he gonna say? You're gonna say he's the reenactment of the Million Man Ted DiBiase.
He's got nothing. He's not. He's beyond $1 Million Man. In
the
in
best
the
shit talkers Listen, the best shit talkers in WWF or WWE was The Rock and Stone Cold.
The Rock was the best. There was no one better than The Rock.
Stone
$1 Million
Cold.
Man.
$1 Million Man was alright still.
Ric Flair,
bad man, but for me, those two, man.
Ric Flair is second to me, but The Rock was the best shit talker known to man. Lyric wise, he tailored every abuse for every person every week.
It was funny.
He was the best. There was nothing about it. Stone Cold just used to come out and just throw a beer in your face and just put 2 fingers up and kick you and then go about his business.
What?
Stone Cold used to do stuff that was entertaining. Like he used to drive trucks into the arena, jump off it was him and Vince McMahon that made it funny. That's how good it was, because he stopped being about wrestlers, became him against Vince McMahon. But The Rock was the finest shit talker in the history.
Macho Man Randy
WWE.
Savage.
The Macho Man Randy said it was good, but
Macho
again,
Man.
he's not up to the level.
Mr. Perfect.
Not up to the level of The Rock.
There's one. I'm just big boss man.
Hold
on. Who's the commentator?
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Fantastic shit talker. Fantastic. But The Rock was the best.
Anyways, we have run over time. All right, that's the end of that. Who's rapping on this thing? Is that you?
I ain't got a beard.
You have fluff though.
Yeah, whatever, bitch.
All right, so let's do our church notes and our goodbyes. We'll start off with Simple Simon, because usually he's more prepared than the rest.
Gaza. So I must have mentioned probably 2 weeks ago an event called Wheel and Come Again.
Wheel and Come Again.
It's Very Caribbean presents Wheel and Come Again. It's a new type of exhibition.
Not standard Caribbean.
Yeah.
Very Caribbean.
Very Caribbean, like that. It's a celebration of 25 years of dancehall music and culture, spanning the years from 1980 until 2005. So there will be no music played outside of that time period. And it is an exhibition and a dance at the same time. So you are encouraged to wear clothing and paraphernalia from the era, and you will be taken on a journey.
Flags,
all of that stuff. You'll be taken on a journey of the rudiments of dancehall music.
For those of you people that were listening in and thinking, when they were discussing this thing about experiences, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Here's an experience you can take part in.
Here's a very genuine experience. So that is on Saturday the 13th of October. It's at the upstairs at the Ritzy in Brixton. It starts at 8 p.m, finishes at 2 a.m. Tickets £10 in advance. You can do £12 on the door if you so wish. And it is set to be a really, really good edutainment night. They will be talking about the people who created dances, why the dances were created, the situations that caused those dances to be so popular. They'll be talking about the dancehall scene, the dancehall queens, the competition, the other side of dancehall that you may not know about now. Nowadays, you see people jumping off of speakers and landing on other people, and you think that's what dancehall's about. So far from the truth. So this will give you a good history into what dancehall is. You'll realise that there's a massive difference between what dancehall is as a culture and what these kids are doing now generally, and it's a really good life experience.
Bro, are they paying you?
No.
just asking.
Big up Fiona Compton, man.
Yeah, Fiona Compton, guest on the podcast. She's the one that's running this event.
Big up Fiona, man. I was looking at it today. I was telling my missus about it. I was watching some of her videos on Insta. Her videos are fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. She's good, man. She do her thing.
Big Wahala.
Big Wahala on Insta, Big Wahala on Twitter. Shout out One Stop Dreadlock for your dreadlock needs. Check him out.
Mr. Wolf.
Yeah. AKA Mr. Wolf. AKA _ Mr. Wolf. You can't hear me.
You done?
What's wrong with you, bro?
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
How many people do I tell to speak up?
Like,
You're the only one that wants to ask questions when you're clearly the one that nobody can ever hear. Is that what you want to say?
well, I don't really use my socials, do I? So I got to start using them, and then maybe I should advertise it a bit more.
Bruv, no, don't let nobody force you to use your socials.
No.
If you don't want to use them, don't use them.
I'm just saying that I would like to post more on my Instagram, on my Twitter.
You sound like you got to get permission from someone. I would like to. Excuse me,
You have
please.
to learn how to use it first, innit?
Can I have the consent?
I don't know how to use them.
What if I press this button? What would it do?
Okay.
Miss Lady.
I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. My Stavros says this week, which is the section where I recommend something, is NPR Music Tiny Desk Concert. So it's a Tiny Desk Concert by NPR Music. And basically what they have is like a, I don't know if it's like a little bookshop or something. I forgot none of you went to Nigeria with me. And there was this bookshop in Nigeria where it was a bookshop stroke record shop stroke concert thing, and it wasn't too much bigger than this place, but it all fit in. And this is something that NPR does, is something similar to this in America, obviously, where they have all manner of artists come down, and it's very small, it's very intimate. They have hundreds of artists, so anything you like, whether it could be country, or R&B or rap or whatever it is. There's a Wicked Roots one. DJ Premier does a set. It's wicked. T-Pain does a acapella where it's just him, no auto-tune, and just a guy on a keyboard. That's listened to a few million times. Everybody's like, I can't believe he can sing, because he can sing. And there's a Saul Williams who's a poet. He does one. It's just wicked. There's loads of them there. Just check it out. Tiny Desk Concerts by NPR Music. They're all on YouTube. Have a look. Yeah, that's my recommendation for this week. So our fantastic and a wonderful guest, Georgette.
Did you forget my name?
No, I was gonna say Georgette for gorgeous, because that's what I was thinking. Yeah, so come around. Yeah, so
But I'm married.
I'm married. Yeah,
Did I-
socials,
When were you married? Yeah.
church notes, everything you want to tell us, anything you want to promote. Go ahead.
My socials are at Coco_abroad on Twitter, or at Just a Tip Pod on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to shout out some of my sponsors. Honorclothing.co.uk and hotoctopus.com and peepshowtoys.co.uk. So if anyone wants like a new sex toy, check out peepshowtoys.co.uk. Use the code JTT10 for 10% off. And I think I've got a discount as well for honor.co.uk.
Can you recommend a sex toy for the ladies? Even the guys.
So for ladies,
Bullet.
that's what I was going to say actually. If you're new
I'm
to sex toys, try a bullet. So Peep Show sent me, was it Peep Show? Peep Show sent me a bullet recently, which was great. Hot Octopus, I did a review for my pod that's coming out this week. They sent me an amazing toy. Yeah, called the Queen Bee. So check that out as well.
Good name.
And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation. It was very fun. I feel like I got grilled a bit, but it was great.
I'm sorry for that.
All in love, all in
Yeah, I
love.
didn't like that either,
That
man.
wasn't me.
I didn't like that either. But it happened.
What did
I
you
tried
like?
to move on many times. Yeah.
It's like we were just asking her questions, and he wasn't sharing the love with the questions that we was asking.
Okay.
It's not an interview.
Alright.
But anyway,
So yeah, you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. You were wonderful. Sorry for the grilling.
It's all right.
Please, women out there, don't come at. What's this dude gonna do now? Don't come at us and tell us off for doing something.
Oh, and check out my podcast.
Yeah. Just the Tip podcast.
Tip Podcast.
It's on iTunes and SoundCloud and everywhere you find good podcasts. So it's every week or every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, and she has a guest on, and she discusses a variety of subjects. Sometimes they might discuss sex and things along those lines,
Yeah.
but sometimes other times they won't. They'll talk about other stuff, you know. So that's what it is. I am going to give out just play the thing, man. Play your thing.
Just carry on, man.
I can't do it because when I'm gonna finish.
Oh my
so
god!
when I
Just do
finish,
your thing, man.
it's going
It's
to
like
be finished.
I've never ever played anything after you finish, man. What
Yeah.
is wrong with you, man?
Okay. Sorry.
Hell.
All right. You can find us collectively at ESN Podcast on Instagram and on Twitter. You can search for Eloquently Saying Nothing on Facebook. Email esnpodcast@gmail.com for any questions, comments, or what's the thing when we give you advice? Dilemmas. There you go. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. That does help us move up the ladder. Do that with Just the Tip podcast as well. Rate and review. You can just put 5 stars, even if you don't want to write nothing. You can just put 5 stars, and that helps people find our podcast. We do need the exposure, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. So we appreciate your help with that. And use the hashtag ESN Pod, hashtag ESN Pod on your social medias. Holler at us, holler at Georgette, holler at us. What are your views on what we discussed this episode? Thank you very much for listening. This is episode 93, and we are done.
Close to 100, boy.
And remember, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag for life. Grilling was that bad?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not one of them moments. I actually enjoy myself.